Okay. Oh, look, I don't even have to say anything to this girl. She's already mine. Paul Stanley gets them every time. The Paul Stanley workout plan. What's going on, people in YouTube land? Kimchi Chris here, and welcome to today's video where we are reaching into the Kimchi archives. That's right, this video was filmed last year, 2018, at the Middle Tennessee Anime Convention, or IMTAC for short. The 2019 event just wrapped up, and I figured why not go ahead and get this video out here. And unfortunately we lost a little bit of the footage over time, but everything that survived here is amazing and quality if you ask me. Basically, I went to the convention and I tried out using Kiss lyrics as pickup lines on real life girls. Now, as a disclaimer, I would not advise anybody trying to use these as actual pickup lines in real life at a bar, because you might get slapped, you might get hit, you might get thrown out, you might get banned, you might get arrested, you might get deported. Some things could happen in your life that you can't go back on. But in this video here, there's some gold. So let's sit back and let's check it out. Girl, I want to put my log in your fireplace.
Oh, baby, it's burning hot.
Hey girl, put your hand in my pocket, grab onto my rocket. Ooh, one's actually working. Put your hand in my pocket, grab onto my rocket. That one weirdly works a lot. You make me rock hard.
I make a lot of things rock hard.
My love's like a cannonball. You take an aim, you're gonna fall. Girl, you're good looking and you're looking like you should be good.
I actually like that one.
Baby, please don't refuse. You got nothing to lose.
It's true.
That song is about anal sex, by the way. Hot lover, turn up the heat. I want your sugar, girl, because it's so sweet.
Oh yeah,
I mixed it.
that's good.
You make me rock hard. Works every time. Works every time. So I gotta be honest with you. I know we work all day, and we don't know why, but there's just one thing that money can't buy. When your body's been starved, you gotta feed your appetite. You've been working all day, right? So we gotta all night. What's up, 80s Paul? You failed me. Girl, you're good looking and you're looking like you should be good.
I mean,
Works every time.
Every time. Let the games begin. Let me introduce you to pleasure.
I already know that.
Don't be the Vinnie Vincent of my love life. Stay with me.
What are you doing, dude?
That guy got the Vinnie Vincent reference. You rock hard, girl. So baby, hold tight. Love's like a glove. Think I could fit you just right.
Are you serious? They actually wrote these?
Yeah.
How?
It must be love, girl. It fits like a glove. One pretty girl makes you feel pretty good. But two's even better.
You okay? Got too drunk too fast?
No, I got drunk just fast enough.
You got the spinnies?
Simmons is always right.
Gene Simmons is...
Always right.
Gene Simmons is always right to himself.
Gene Simmons is Gene Simmons' favorite band. Let's put the X in sex. Put you in your place. That's the actual follow-up lyric. Not misogynistic at all, is it?
In your place.
Yeah. Like a blade forged in stone, girl. You're fiery hot.
Hell yeah! Music from the elder!
I've got the urge to merge and you're as cold as ice. Baby, won't you let me in?
You shine! Bro, let's merge! Works every time!
Girl, my love's like a cannonball. I'm taking aim. You're gonna fall. Whoa! Whoa! You never, I didn't see that coming. I did not see that coming. I did not
Works every time!
Works every time.
Well, there you have it. Kiss lyrics as pickup lines. What did you guys think? I know this is a little bit of a different type of video for the channel. Did you like it? Let me know below. Did you hate it? Let me know below. Would you like to see us do more videos like this? Let me know below in the comments. Give the video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Again, my name is Kimchi Chris, and I will see you guys on the next video. checking that audio. Haven't streamed on YouTube in so long. It's like going back to an old friend. I've already had to block one comment. Cool, my bootleg way of monitoring myself says that we have audio. And we are live. We are live. We are live. We are live. What's going on, people? Welcome, welcome, welcome. The 4-year anniversary stream of Kimchi Chris. That's me. You didn't know, it's right there below too. It's somewhere in that. There's a hashtag there, okay? There's little cartoon me, and there's real me, and all the other me's, and there's all the me's. Remember when me's were all the rage back on the Wii? That was a thing. What's going on, people? I'm glad to see some people out tonight. I'm happy that you're here. It's a very good time to be alive. It's a very happy time. Very good time. And it's a good time to stream. I haven't streamed in, what, 6 months on here? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, I stream like 2 to 3 times a week over on Twitch, which everybody should go to and follow. And, you know, hit that little subscribe button over there. You can do it. You can subscribe over there for free with Amazon Prime if you have that. That's a good little thing. But what's going on, people? Melissa, welcome to the chat. See you're here early. What's up, Chris? Yeah, I am glad I decided to do this as well. Thank you so much for being out early. It's like coming out for the opening act, even though there wasn't really an opening act. I guess I'm just like the person by myself on this. Cambrio, what's going on, man? The Kimchi Gamer channel is here. It's just we've rebranded it as Kimchi Chris DLC. You know, it's going to be for gaming as well as anime and just general nerddom. There's the link for it. If you could go subscribe to that channel I just sent in there on YouTube here. You don't even have to go to Twitch if you want to see some of the gaming stuff. That's a wonderful thing there. We did block one comment there because somebody said some hate speech. That's fun, always. Melissa, though, gave all the thumbs up. She's thumbs upping, blocking that comment. You need to slap your fist 3 times. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I did it 3, but I didn't, you know, now we're really cooking now. That's the thing. That's the thing. Yeah, wow, it's crazy. It's crazy that I've been making videos on here for 4 years. 4 years! As I said on Facebook, 4 years of depression. I mean, content creation, but 4 years of this. It's been crazy. It's been absolutely crazy. Melissa has the wine. I see. I don't have wine tonight. I decided for January this year. It's just water. It's not vodka. I decided for January this year. I think New Year's resolutions are a pretty bad idea because nobody ever keeps up with them. But I decided I was going to do a month-long resolution, and I might do that the whole year. I'm not sure. But for January, it was no alcohol and no fast food. And it really has not been that hard because we're still in the middle of a pandemic. Nobody can go drink or have fun anyways. You know, I can't drink wine in the parking lot of Burger King anyway if I wanted to. So, but I appreciate your wine. I think you should have fun with the wine. Paige, what's going on? Hey. I don't know if I've ever seen you on the YouTube channel, so that's great. That's one of my friends in real life. Cam says, can you clap your fist 3 times? I already did it! What do you want from me? Let's do it right into the mic. Make the audio just atrocious for everybody. I hate this. Did you guys notice this? This right here? I hate it, but I can't get it to go away in the setup, so here we are. Here we are, indeed. Trevor, what's going on? Welcome to the stream, man. Welcome. So, it is 4 years that this channel has been around. And it's insane. It's absolutely insane. This channel's went through a lot of things in the 4 years, a lot of changes, but a lot has stayed the same. And you know, it's insane just some of the things that we have done on this channel and some of the things that we will continue to do on this channel. And by we, I mean me. I like speaking as a collective. I think I've talked about that in videos before. I think if you say we, it's a lot more inclusive.
And I think that's very important, especially when you're building a brand and community and all kinds of other things, to be very inclusive of all types of people. But 4 years ago, January 22nd, 2000 and what? Is that 17, 20, 19, 18? Yeah, 2017. It's just started. It started. And I wasn't sure what I was going to do for the 4 years. Last year we did a Q&A. It was like a pre-recorded video where you guys submitted questions. That was cool, and a lot of you guys participated, and it was fun. I had never done a live stream at that point because I'm one of the olds. And it was great, though. It was absolutely great. You guys sent in a lot of great questions, and I figured, why not just do it live this year, you know? Why not do it live? Why not make it an actual live experience as opposed to a live one by Kiss, which is still one of the best live albums ever. I don't care that it's fake, okay? I really don't care. Yeah, it's great to be here 4 years after the inception of this channel. Where I started the channel, I just didn't know what it was going to be. I thought in the early days I was going to do everything I liked: rock and roll, Kiss, anime, video games, you know, Adventure Time, whatever it was. But it turns out you guys really stuck with one subject matter, and that was the music one. So over time, all the nerd stuff is kind of floated away into the past. But it's on other channels and such. That's why there's the gaming and anime channel, which we've already shared like 3 times in the chat. But for anybody just joining us, if you could, this channel that I just shared in the chat, go give it a subscription. I haven't done a lot with it. It's been there for 6 months, and I've done like 1 video a month. But I'm going to be doing more, because I'm going to be doing more on here as well. I'm feeling productive, guys. I'm feeling very productive. So yeah, what did Trevor have as his New Year's resolution? Last year, I made my only resolution, and it was to get out of the house some more. Oh, that's a bad resolution. 2020. I think that we know that. I think we know that now. But you know, it's okay. It's okay because, you know, hopefully, fingers crossed, 2021, maybe, and leave the house a little bit more. Maybe, I don't know. Don't leave the house right now, please. We're trying to make this better. Kiss needs to redo Phantom of the Park and mash it with The Elder. Wow, what a concept. What a concept indeed. I don't know how that would go. Those are such perplexing things, and then throwing them together, you know, I'm not sure what that would do with that. What would happen with that? But I think an Elder movie would be cool, but that's never gonna happen. Let's be realistic. Cheap Trick at Budokan is my favorite live album ever. That's a good one. But is your favorite one Cheap Trick at Budokan, or is it Cheap Trick the complete show at Budokan, where they put out all the other stuff on a 2 CD set, eventually on a 2 LP set too? It has all the songs that they didn't have on the first one. I like that one a little better just because you get more. You get more vintage Cheap Trick is never a bad thing. Slick Dazzler, hey man. Had to show up for your live show. I appreciate it. Slick Dazzler, I like your name. I like that. Slick and Dazzler. That's an X-Men, right? I don't know if that was meant to be from the X-Men. I tried to set up this chat thing, and it's popping up the messages for like just a second, and then they're going away, so I'm just going to remove it because it's not very useful. There's a way to fix that. I know how to do it, but I don't know how to do it. It takes time is the point. It takes time is the situation there. The original one, yeah, the original one is great though. The original Budokan is great. No hate on that. I just like having the extra songs. So we are definitely going to be doing some Q&A stuff, and that's kind of what we started with. But I have an agenda, guys. One of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to tell you guys why this channel was kind of so inactive for the last 6 months. That was something I really wanted to discuss, and we'll get the unfun stuff, you know, the sad stuff out of the way first, or the not as happy. I made a timeline. I took notes, guys. I took notes. I made a timeline because there was really a lot, like, by a monthly basis as to, like, what was going on with everything. So you guys that follow the channel, a lot of you that are here are faces I recognize that have been here for, like, the long haul. You've been here at least a year, you know. You were here last year when we did 3 years of anniversary. And you might have noticed that the channel was doing really, it was about as prolific as it could be the beginning of this year, especially leading up to the great crash of this year on the channel. The last month that I was doing a whole lot of videos was June this year, and that was the most prolific month. I took a note because I thought I did a lot. There were 9 videos and 3 live streams in June. That's a lot of stuff. 12 videos overall. And that was a lot, and I was really liking it, and it was during the pandemic, and it was something good to keep me busy when I couldn't go out and have fun with people, couldn't see people. It was a way of being social. But just like every other time I've overreached my boundaries, I did get burnt out a little bit, but that wasn't the main reason here. June was a month that was a little bit trying because, we had May 25th. With the George Floyd stuff, and we're not going to really concentrate on that too awful long. I have a video on that, my Total Isolation series. You can go back and watch it. I think it was the 2nd or 3rd episode of Total Isolation. We're up to like 6 now. We're going to keep those going. Anyway, so all that happened and the world changed, around that time, more so than it had during the entire pandemic. And between the atrocity that was, Mr. Floyd's situation, and Trump's lack of handling anything and all the riots and everything else, June, it was a very good month to concentrate on trying to put videos out. That's also the month I started my Twitch channel and did all kinds of stuff. It was a very good time to put your headspace into something else. Basically, I think everybody can agree on that. And then July came, and that's when the channel started coasting on fumes, so to speak. I took notes here. 2 videos and 1 live stream. And that live stream ended up being the last content on this channel for a good while. And I didn't plan it that way. It wasn't like a temporary farewell live stream or anything. It was my 200th video on the channel, that live stream was. Which is insane, 200 videos. It's crazy. Or maybe the video before was my 200th. I don't know. I can't remember if it was the 200th upload or... 200 is the point. There was a lot of stuff is the point. And... it was a very hard month. There was a lot of stuff that I won't really talk about here, but going on in my personal life, there was a lot going on. And it was one of those times where everything was just harder because you're in the middle of a pandemic, can't go do anything. So I had to take a break. I was really trying to get the Twitch channel going as well. I knew there were some brighter fields there, so to speak, because YouTube, I don't know. I know some of you guys in here make videos, but YouTube is not the brightest place to be if you're a content creator right now. It's harder than ever. And if you're on my level, being on the smaller scale, it's really not a good place to be necessarily. But I'm still here for you guys. So, but I was over there on Twitch, working hard to get to affiliate status there, because over there you can get to affiliate a lot quicker than you can on YouTube. But you still have to work for it, So I was over there doing my thing, trying to build that brand, that channel, all of those things, and I was having a great time doing it. And speaking of which, we're gonna drop that link again, and you guys can still chat. Everyone's gotten quiet now that I've been telling serious story time. You guys can still chat. Did I play the Psycho Circus Dreamcast game? Cam wants to know. I own it actually. But anyway, all that stuff was happening. July was just an absolutely awful month in my life. There's no way to do it. I was very confrontational during that time too. Oh, hey, what's going on in my head? Look at Brant. Welcome in the chat. Great creator on here. Love him, love his stuff. So July was a very confrontational time, and June was too. And that's why I did that stream on July, celebrating the 200th video, and because there were so many things that were going on that were just absolutely insane, I ended up having to pull back, and I think it hit me too that I'd made 200 videos on here and YouTube hadn't paid me a dime. I really think there was that. And that's something that's weird to think about when you're like, man, I've put so much time and energy in this, and not that I did this to make money. That doesn't make sense. My English is poor. You see, you can't edit live streams, so but I never did this to make money. But the fact that you put so much time and energy into something and you make no money from it, and you also feel that things are just going in a weird direction on it because YouTube is just like I said, YouTube's trying to destroy everyone, it feels like right now. I felt that like all the odds were against me. That's why I really poured my heart and soul into Twitch for a little bit, and I still am, to be fair, because there's, again, brighter fields over there. Twitch, if you make videos, Twitch is where you want to be, and mind you, it's a little bit more, I don't know, directional, so to speak. A lot of stuff might not work over there that works over here, but anyway, somewhere along that line, July ended up getting past there, and it was, again, the worst month I'd had in a really long time between personal things and business things and everything else. It was rough, but we got to August, and things just seemed brighter. They really did. They seemed brighter. August seemed like a better situation. That being said, what did I do? I didn't upload a single video. I didn't do a single video on here. I needed to break mentally from everything. I was still going strong on Twitch, but I didn't do anything over here because it just, again, my headspace was not here. My headspace was not in Kimchi Chris on YouTube. It was in, at the time, Kimchi Gamer on Twitch, which I've now changed to Kimchi Chris. So we'll come into that a little bit later because I'm trying to get everything kind of together. First video was titled Hello YouTube. That's true, Trevor. I knew what I was doing from day one in that regard. Anyway, for those just joining, by the way, because I see we have some new viewers here, I'm kind of going over where I've been the last 6 months since I haven't been on here a lot. We made our way up to August. So August, things were doing better, but I needed a break. I still needed a break. I remember sitting down to make videos. I pulled the camera out, and I'd set up all the lights. I'd put the lights on. I'm keeping it dark for effect. Oh, I'm out of focus. But then I'd set up the lights like that. But it was still somewhat of a dark time, even though things were getting better. And I decided to take August off also. But again, I was thriving on Twitch. What's amazing on Twitch is that when you get, a smaller amount, you can start being monetized. And I was starting to make money over there, and I was starting to feel appreciated over there, even with a smaller following. And we still talk about Kiss over there. We still talk about rock and roll. It's great. We play video games, of course, but, Anyway, with all that being said, August was better, but not great. And then, I got dark again when I was near the end of August, and I was like, oh, you know what? Dragon Con's not happening this year, is it? Because everything's awful. But there was online digital Dragon Con. My band Night Sabers played a show at that. It was an online community show. It was great. It was really fun. It was our first show with the full new lineup, and it's great. It's absolutely great, and it was really fun. Putting my mind into that was really fun. And if you guys have never heard my band Night Sabers, you have. They're playing in the background right now, and you've heard them on any of the intros. But there's our Bandcamp page. Yeah, I had all the links ready for you guys. I knew I was telling a story. So August turned into September, and September was another spot where, things were just, I don't know. I think the pandemic was hitting me harder than it had ever hit me at that point to a degree. And with that being said, I kind of moved forward in September, and I did that one video, the one total isolation, saying that I was here, but I was not worrying about schedules and stuff like that, And then what did we get in October? In October, we got 2 videos out of the channel, but again, I was still going strong on Twitch. That was kind of the key. That was kind of the key. Have my top 10 bands changed since June? I don't think they have. The feeling of needing a break? Yeah. It makes it. You understand. You understand. Is Zoe still in space? Oh, yeah, definitely. I don't see her returning anytime soon. But, that's all. It's all good. The virtual show you guys did was great. That's great. Thank you so much for saying that. I need to still upload. We have essentially what I would call a remastered version of the live shows. We did 2 live shows with them, and one of them in particular, the quality wasn't great when it streamed, but we have the better quality version, and I need to upload at some point. And we actually streamed that on my actual birthday celebration back in November over on Twitch, and people really liked it, so I need to put it up here on YouTube. Anyway, back to the timeline. So we're in October. I do 2 videos. It's cool. Halloween comes. It's cool. It's whatever. November, didn't do any videos, I believe. And my birthday happened in that month, and I was hitting it hard on Twitch. Because again, I was building a community, I was making money, I was doing the things that I felt should have happened on this channel a long time ago. But with that being said, we got to December, and then it was Christmas time, right? So I only did 1 video in December. I only did 1 video, and I believe it was a total isolation one, just kind of checking in again, letting you guys know I wasn't dead yet. Not dead yet. The pandemic didn't get me yet. And then we got to January, and it was something too, going back to, I kind of skipped over some, but in November I felt it was a bad time to do videos because we were in such civil unrest at that point too. There was that whole situation going on, and I felt like it was a bad time for entertainment or escapism, even though we probably needed it more than ever. But that happened. But then luckily Christmas came, and a lot of people were happy. And in the Kiss world, we had Kiss Goodbye 2020, which made a lot of people mad. Also made a lot of people happy. You can go watch it for free right now on this website. Don't leave the stream, but you can go watch it for free unless they took it down again. But you know, you can do that. Who does your female vocals now? That is something that is being worked on in the background. There's a lot of things going on in the background. You see that background? There's a lot of things going on back there. But for January, so January came, there's a new year, it's 2021, and let's not just be symbolic about it. The lights came on finally again, and I felt like a person again a little bit more. It was great. It was great. Was that good dramatic effect, having it all dark and spooky, and then like the lights came on? I would have done a explosion of pyro if this wasn't a live stream. I think I've learned how to do that recently. That'll probably happen in a video coming up. You know, spoilers. But January 2021 came. You know, it was great. It was absolutely great. Oh, your birthday, Melissa, is on November 19th. Mine's November 18th. So we're very close to each other in birthday. There's actually on the gaming channel I've shared on here already, there is a bit of the video from the Twitch stream that we did for my birthday, where it showed me opening all the presents and such that I got for my birthday, which was great. In the mail, got a lot of presents from some of the people over there, including this. You guys will like this. This is the More Kiss channel, right? Lovely, some lovely people over there sent me this in the mail. How great is that? It's a Marvel Comics blanket. It's very cozy, amongst other things. But anyway, so January came and things were looking better. You know, it was looking great actually. I felt rejuvenated for some reason. And you know, here we are. 3 videos have been put out this month. We're on this live stream. That idiot's out of office, and things are doing better. You know, everything is looking up in that regard. My Twitch channel is doing amazing on numbers. Over here, we're doing good. We're bringing people back into the fold after being gone for a while. But again, YouTube is against you. You know, the algorithm is against you when you're gone for so long. You know, it just is. And the videos I've been putting up don't get the numbers they should be getting. That's just how it is. You know, and it's going to take a little while to build them back up. And you know, my future going forward with this channel is simply I'm going to put stuff out when I feel like it. You know, I know that's not what you should do at all. You should be on a schedule. You got to be consistent on here to be successful. But maybe it's not in the cards for me to be successful on here, since again, the Twitch channel I'm doing, you know, a lot better on there. You know, maybe that's what I should have been doing this whole time. It bothers me because I'm like, man, if I'd been on there for the 4 years here, where would I be? You know, but with all that being said, you know, we're here. It's a good time, and I'm excited that we're here. I'm excited that we're here, and I'm excited that we are to the point of finally making some videos and hanging out with some people again. Which, on that note, this video only has a handful of thumbs up. Give this video a thumbs up while you're here right now. Help it out. Help the video out. And speaking of helping out, you know, I never, ever pressure anybody into this, but we do have a link on every video now too. That you can donate money directly through PayPal. I just send it there in the chat as well. Never a requirement. This is free content, but I'll never turn it down. And I've been thinking about doing a program. What do you guys think? I'll run this by you. I've been thinking about doing a program. Some other people do this as well, where you can donate a certain amount of money, and maybe I could do a video that you want me to do a topic on or something like that. The problem I have with that is that I feel that I'd get some trolly people that are just like wanting me to do stupid stuff I wouldn't like at all. But I feel the people that are in on the stream are generally the people that are a little bit better, you know? So what do you guys think if I did something like that? Would that be cool? Would I be selling myself too weirdly on that? I'll sell out in a second. That's not the problem. I just don't know if anybody would do it. And I don't know. I wouldn't want to make it something. I'd want to make it more like, I wouldn't want to make it like you're buying a video. That seems kind of weird, but I don't know how I'd phrase it. It's all about the phrasing that would be the hard part there. Thoughts on Vinnie Vincent? I love his music, and meeting him was wonderful 3 years ago, almost to the day. But what about him now? I don't know. Nobody knows what's going on with him now. I think it's a waste. I think that he could have done some great things when he came back, but, you know. Yeah, Melissa, definitely check out the Twitch channel. It's very, very important. To my psyche, if nothing else. Plus, if you have Amazon Prime and you go to Twitch, you can subscribe to my channel for free on there, which typically would cost you $5 a month, but you can do it for free. It sends money directly to me. Doesn't cost you a dime if you have Amazon Prime. That's just how it is. It's great. But yeah, so here we are on the channel. January 22nd, 2020. 4 years of this channel. And I need to get some water. I've been talking for this whole time. No water. It's like when I saw Henry Rollins and he did a 2-hour, really, no, he's like 3 hours. It was a long stand-up set, and he did not drink water the whole time. He pointed that out at the end of the set, and you didn't notice it till he said it. And you're like, oh, he really didn't. And he explained it's because he thought people would leave if he even took a second pause. Like, people would actually leave seeing Henry Rollins, but, you know, whatever. But with all that being said, one big thing is coming to the channel that might be coming as soon as tomorrow or later tonight even, because I kind of have the stuff ready. I just got to pull the trigger and do it. We're changing the name of the channel, guys. There's a reason for that. I'll make a regular video too, but I am going to bring it up here in the chat or in the stream. I know not a lot of people are going to watch the stream after the fact, so that's why I'm going to make a video about it so people aren't too confused, hopefully. But we are going to be changing the name of the channel because I don't think calling it Kimchi Chris necessarily represents me the way it should anymore. Because, when I started this, I wanted to be a channel for all the things I like. Kiss, rock and roll, anime, video games, whatever. And that's not what it is. It's a music channel now, true and true. So it's like, yeah, I am Kimchi Chris, and yeah, this is my mind and my world and everything else. I mean, I'm the idiot on here talking on a live stream right now, but we are going to be changing it. And the new title, assuming I can kind of get it everywhere, and so it could change slightly, but I like the ring to it because it's kind of cheesy, and that's what I like about it. We're going to be changing it to Rock Bliss with Kimchi Chris. So it's more of a show at that point, more of a focal point, and that'll help me focus in because my gaming YouTube and Twitch is just going to be Kimchi Chris now because that stuff's going to be a little bit more open-ended. That's why you should check all that stuff out because there might still be music stuff over there, honestly. There really might. Even if you don't go on Twitch, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel that's going to have highlights from that as well as original content. You can do that right there. I just sit in the chat. And that's going to be moving forward kind of how this works. This is going to be all music stuff over here with the occasional thing like my Total Isolation series and stuff. I think those will still come through here, but I really need people to go sub to that YouTube channel as well. Get it up there on the views because I want to get the URL. You got to have 100 subs. Also, I haven't really worked on that channel, so I really got to work on it because I've been putting all my time into the Twitch. It's crazy, but I'm getting all this a little bit more departmentalized because I want Kimchi Chris in the title of everything. That's kind of the big takeaway here because I had Twitch as Kimchi Gamer and this is Kimchi Chris. It gets confusing. With that being said, I might be combining the Twitter accounts into one thing soon too. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to keep the Instagram accounts separate as well as the YouTube ones, but whatever. So this channel's name will be changing soon, and you guys are getting the notice of it early. Getting it early. You already saw some of the artwork. I mean, there's some... Where am I? I can't point them. You see me down below. You see a little cartoon me holding up a record. But yeah, so that's kind of where everything is. It's kind of like the state of the union for this channel. It's great. It's a healthier place than it's ever been. I know that's what Kiss says even when things aren't the healthiest, but I think it is healthy. It's just going to be on a little bit less of a schedule. I think I'm going to maybe try to keep videos on Sundays as much as I can. I'm not going to promise that. And plus, you know, something new might happen. I might want to do a video on another day. And I still want to do stuff different than just discussion videos. A lot of those things are hard to pull off when you're by yourself, you know, just how it is. But high production stuff would be cool. I think it really would. So I think we're going to open it up to a little bit Q&A now because that's what these basically are. Let's see here. So if you guys have some Q's, I got the A's, so send them in. I see we have a few actually waiting here. So Trevor wants to know thoughts on 80s Cheap Trick, meaning one-on-one. It's you and me against the world. It's one-on-one. Isn't that the chorus to that song, right? The Doctor, one people don't like. Okay, so 80s Cheap Trick is kind of like what 80s Cheap Trick is to me, and I love Cheap Trick, so don't get me, you know, twisted on this necessarily, but like 80s Cheap Trick is like when your cool older uncle kind of stopped being cool. I don't know, or when your dad did, or somebody older. I don't know. Like, I don't hate 80s Cheap Trick for what it is, but it just doesn't. It's not the same as, you know, early Cheap Trick. You know, early Cheap Trick, especially the early stuff, you know, there were reviews that said they were borderline punk, which they were always too much of musicians necessarily to be that, but like there was a lot of energy there. And I feel in the 80s they lost a lot of energy. I feel they got it back in the 90s, but I feel they were coasting, and I know it was a hard time for them. Up until The Flame, they were really having a lot of issues with keeping everything going, and then after that, they had a lot of issues with keeping everything going. They're one of my favorite bands ever, but the 80s are a little bit of a low point, I think. I don't think The Doctor's as bad as everyone says it is. I can definitely say that. That'd be a fun review to do sometime. I've only listened to it a handful of times, but I remember thinking this is like not great, but it's not what I expected it to be because everybody says it's awful. It wasn't that bad, you know? Like, it wasn't as bad as I expected. I'm just gonna be real. So there's my thoughts on 80s Cheap Trick. Who's your favorite Kiss guitar player and why? It's Ace, because he was the first one. He's right back there behind me. No, not just because he's the first one, but I mean Ace. Come on, man. Like he has the memorable riffs, and he's who was there in the beginning, and everything like that. Now, it wouldn't have been funny if I'd said Paul, because Paul's my favorite member of Kiss, but I appreciate him for different reasons than I appreciate Ace. So, yeah, I do think that Ace is my favorite guitarist. Is he technically speaking their best? No, probably not. That's more so Bruce, maybe even Tommy. People don't like to hear that, but Tommy is a monster when it comes to guitars, no pun intended. That was bad. But, you know, he's a monster. Tommy's a monster. Bruce is a ridiculous guitarist, but Ace is still my favorite, you know, at the end of the day. Plus, like, people give Ace too much crap, especially the current version of Ace. When he's on, man, he is on. And when he's off, he's kind of off. But when he's on, he's still great. Still the Ace. You don't come for the vocals. You come for the guitar playing with him. Let's see. The new Vinny Speedball Jam is too fast for all human comprehension. That's true. It's just that's all it is for like an hour. And you know, he was trying to sell that CD on his website for $250. Could you imagine spending $250 on that? You'll listen to it for free on YouTube, though. I say do what you want. We love you. That's what Melissa says. We love you guys, too. Thank you so much for that. That's the thing is, like, people don't see sometimes when I'm talking about kind of changing what I'm doing and the concepts behind it and how I'm doing and how I'm delivering it. People don't understand sometimes that, like, you guys see the positive side of it because, you know, I'm the one that's moderating these comments and everything else, but like the vitriol that sometimes is thrown at me for just sharing my opinion is hilarious. And I know anyone that makes content or does YouTube videos knows what I'm talking about because it happens. I mean, there's been, you know, there's not a lot, but there's like people you have to block occasionally because they just like won't leave me alone. And they'll, you know, there's very positive people. There's a lot of you guys, some of you are here in the chat that we talk on Instagram and everything else in the DMs, and you're cool. You send me funny stuff. I laugh at it. That's cool. There's also people that have sent some very crazy stuff on there, and luckily we've never gotten to the level where I've really had to, like, report anybody, but there's been some crazy stuff, and I've had to block. At the beginning of this stream, there was a comment in there I had to block. I know a few of you might have seen that were in there earlier. I'm not going to say what it was, and if you repeat it, I will block your comment as well, but it wasn't even geared towards me, to be fair, but, you know, it was enough to make me block it. I don't know. I might have blocked the user even. I don't know. But I deleted the comment. But yeah, so it's like doing what you want. Twitch is a very positive place. That's why I've really liked it over there. Really liked it over there. I broke 200 followers recently. I've been there for 6 months. That's really good. When doing the numbers, that means if I'm on there 4 years, I'm going to be killing it over there compared to over here. And again, that's none of your guys' fault. A lot of that's YouTube. You know, and everyone says that, but it's true. It's very true. I don't know why I'm whispering. I don't know. We're just gonna do an ASMR live stream for the rest of the stream. We're just gonna do this. No, we're not. But I do want to do an ASMR video. That'd be an interesting challenge at the very least. Let's see here. Do you like any emo bands you're afraid to admit? No, I don't. I think guilty pleasure is a stupid word. I don't think you should feel guilty for liking anything. So if you like it, someone else liked it when they created it. And as far as emo goes, you know, that was the music of my youth, but that was big when I was in high school. So it was always around, you know, it was always around. I never got why bands, like I didn't like Taking Back Sunday. I didn't think they were good, but I liked My Chemical Romance. I saw them more as a punk band. That was the difference. They used to play, you know, all the small venues around here. I saw My Chemical Romance playing to like 100 kids with the Pink Spiders opening for them. Everybody came out to see the Pink Spiders. You guys don't even know who the Pink Spiders are, more than likely, but that's who everybody came out to see, and My Chemical Romance played after them. It was a really fun show, and you know, there was no reason for me to go see them in an arena, I felt, at that point, because I didn't keep up with their music past the Black Parade, really. That was, of course, the big record, but the first one, probably the best one. But yeah, I liked My Chemical Romance okay. I still like Thursday to this day. I think they're newer, similar to My Chemical Romance. A lot of the later stuff from Thursday was not very good, but their early records are really good. Full Collapse is a great record. War All the Time is a phenomenal record. And I saw Thursday several times. I saw them. This is a crazy bill to think about in hindsight. There was a show that AFI was on AFI touring on not December Underground, on Sing the Sorrow. AFI was headlining. Thursday was the middle band, and Coheed and Cambria were opening with a 30-minute set. How crazy is that to think about in hindsight? So I saw Thursday there. I saw them open for The Cure once, believe it or not. I saw them on Warped Tour. And then I saw them a couple years back, 2 years back maybe, when they came through on their reunion tour, and they just didn't quite have the same energy, but I still like them as a band. So yeah, emo music, while it's not my thing overall, I don't have this disdain for it. I just don't like a ton of the bands, but I get what they were doing. A lot of the emo bands were the glam rock of that day and age when they really got into more of the makeup stuff. AFI's one. People call them an emo band. Well, they never really were. They were a hardcore band turned into a goth band that took on some of the nuances of emo, but it was really more classic glam as far as the visuals. And I still love AFI, but they're a punk band at their core. So there you go. And there's your question on emo. Maybe I could do a video on it sometime to make all the olds mad at me. Even though emo is the music of the olds now. We're olds, people that were into it when it was young, or at least were around. Let's see here. What kind of music have you been listening to lately? That's what Melissa wants to know. You know, here's something I forgot to bring up during my Dark Times talk. Let's get back to the Dark Time. So while I wasn't making videos on here and I was just mad at the world because things were bad and the pandemic was awful, one of the reasons I couldn't make videos is because I wasn't listening to a lot of music. And I'm trying to get back out of that funk. There were a couple records towards the end of the year last year that really helped on that. The new Ace record, of course, but also the newest Marilyn Manson was really good. Throughout the year, I loved the newest Poppy record, I Disagree by Poppy. Great stuff. Go check it out if you're not scared of some different music, you know? It's very unique. It's like, I don't know, it's like a American version of baby metal almost. But as far as what I'm listening to right now, actually, let's do something. Right now. This is a series of videos I've actually thought about doing, Melissa. I've thought about doing a series of videos of what I'm listening to on a monthly basis, and I'm not gonna do a screen capture, I'm just gonna read off of it. Because I'm on Last.fm, I have a Last.fm account. If you guys don't know what that is, it records all the music that you listen to, and kind of makes like your own like little chart, basically. So let's see what I've been listening to the last 30 days. How about that? So the last 30 days, think about it, we're in January, so we're going back to December 22nd. But I've been thinking about doing a video with doing these monthly and saying what I was listening to that month. Would you guys think that was cool? Let me know. Definitely let me know. I'm just going to read off of here the top 10 records that I've been playing for the last month. Does that work? Does that work to answer the question, hopefully? So coming in at number 10, we have Self-Made Man by Larkin Poe. That's this really cool sister duo that they're classified as roots rock, but I just think it sounds like good rock and roll, great guitarist, some slide guitar, cool stuff. So that's what's number 10 most played record for the last month for me. And again, this is more digital stuff, so it doesn't include like the record player behind me. But I haven't been listening to a ton of vinyls. This is probably pretty accurate. Also doesn't include what I'm listening to in the car or anything like that. But it pulls from my Spotify, things like that. So yeah, number 10, Larkin Poe with Self-Made Man. Number 9 is a blast from my past, and a lot of people probably don't know this one in America, but it is the amazing record Pop Life by Judy and Mary. What a great band from back in the day, back in my high school days. Japanese rock and roll band. I almost would compare them. I've heard a lot of people say they're like a Japanese version of like the earlier days of No Doubt, but I think that's very short-sighted. They're a lot weirder than that, musically speaking, and this record, Pop Life in particular, was their joke about them being pop stars, and they made a record about it, and it's a ridiculous record. So look up Judy and Mary if you want some really weird but poppy, catchy, cool stuff with a phenomenal singer, great band, cool stuff. Number 8 of what I've listened to most over the last month, Weeping Choir by Fool of Hell. Fool of Hell, of course, is the grindcore, noisy metal band that's been going a long time at this point. Weeping Choir, is that their newest? That's their newest one, right? Yeah, that's their newest one. Great record. If you really want to get some aggression out and just like punch a wall, that's the music to listen to. Number 7 is a holdover from Christmas, because you got to remember, this goes back to December 22nd. We have Christmas by Cheap Trick. You know, Cheap Trick's Christmas record. Good stuff if you're wanting to get in the Christmas mood. I don't think every song on it's perfect, but otherwise, I think it's a pretty good record. Number 6, we have Sports by Tokyo Jihen, aka the Tokyo Incidents, aka Shina Ringo's jazz fusion rock band. They're another Japanese band. I love a lot of Japanese music, and they're absolutely great. The first song on that record reminds me of Queen, but otherwise they're kind of like jazzy rock music, but like they don't go too far into jazz. They don't even have like a horn section, but it's some of the best music you'll ever hear. Shina Ringo is just like one of my all-time favorite musicians, so of course I'm gonna love any band she's in. Number 5, Blood in the Streets by the Jasons. That's right, the Jasons, the Ramones sounding, Kiss worshipping punk rock band where they all wear Jason Voorhees masks and sing about Jason Voorhees activities. But they're great. They're huge Kiss fans. Cool guys. They've popped into this stream before, believe it or not. It'd be crazy if they were here right now. I doubt they are, but they have popped in here before. And they even have some Kiss content on their YouTube channel where they review records and stuff. Some of it's really funny too. They don't take it too serious. Number 4, most listened to records to last month for me, Animation X by Peppermint Creeps. Anybody remember Peppermint Creeps? They were this LA band from like 10 years ago. They were like super glammy. I mean, they wore like full-on Kiss style makeup, but with like big pink hair and platforms, and everything about them was like alien and spacey. Super catchy. Their music was almost more pop punk in a way. Listen to that record, reminded me of that, but it's super catchy, super fun. Very confusing band though, because they were trying to be like a glam rock hair band, but they sounded like a pop punk band, so I don't know. Number 2, Sign o' the Times, Deluxe Edition by Prince. That's right, the 100-track plus Deluxe Edition, Super Deluxe Edition. I haven't made my way through the whole thing. I listened to a good chunk of it, and it's a great Prince record, and I love Prince. You gotta love Prince. Who doesn't love Prince? I don't need to harp on that too much. My number 1 listened to record over the last 30 days is Bomber Deluxe Edition by Motorhead. I don't have to explain. Bomber is a great record. It's got all the bonus stuff. Sometimes the only thing that's a little bit inconsistent on those lists is like the top records end up being the ones with more tracks because it records the tracks you play. But Bomber's a great record. Has a lot of cool bonus stuff on their live stuff. So that was a long answer to a short question, but that's what I've been listening to lately, Melissa, and maybe I'll make a video series on that soon. If I did one for January, I'd have to release it soon. I wouldn't be a lot different than what I just talked about, but maybe it would be. We'll see. Maybe I'll listen to a lot of music in the next 10 days. Let's see. Trevor says he loves every Cheap Trick record. That's good. Or album. He said album. I said record. That's good. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Again, the 80s are not my favorite era, but I don't think they're bad at all. I really don't. You know, it's just like, I think they were a victim of some of the 80s production. Songs are good. Production. Let's see here. Space Ace numero uno. You're right. Let's see. Michelangelo Badio, Joe Satriani, John Petrucci, Paul Gilbert. Who is the best guitarist? See, okay, here's the thing. I'm not big on those types of guitar guys, honestly. You know, like the more like, you're gonna say like, oh, you're not big on the good guitar guys? That's probably what somebody would say. But no, like, I don't know. All those guys just, like, Joe Satriani's like a good guitar player, obviously, but I just don't care about his music too much. You know, Michelangelo Badio is giving me the most, I don't even know if I'm saying his name. He's giving me the most entertainment value out of those guys, but not really for his playing. It's more for his ridiculous videos and just like the it's so ridiculous. But we're talking like my favorite guitar player ever. It wouldn't be any of those guys. You know, names that come to mind with favorite guitarist ever. Ace is near the top. I know he's not the most technically proficient, but it's not about technical proficiency necessarily. That's why the Ramones were great. It's always weird to me at the same time though when I see Johnny Ramone at the top of a best guitarist list, because he definitely wasn't. He was a great, you know, musician, but not a great guitarist. If that makes sense. Good songs or playing. Who was that? Somebody had an album called that, I want to say. Anyway, but like my favorite guitarist, I always think of Ace, but I also think of Brian May as always one at the top of the list because technical proficiency is there, but also he knows not to overplay, which is like a big deal to me. I don't like people overplaying. So that's someone that always comes to mind is Brian May. Who else? Hide from X Japan, another Japanese band. We talked about Japanese bands a lot tonight. Hide was wonderful. He's no longer with us, unfortunately. Wonderful, again, inventive guitarist that knew how to play well, knew not to overplay. Same thing with Prince. Prince is another one of my favorites. God, he's a good guitarist. People don't think about that sometimes with Prince, which is insane. I guess they never heard him play as a result. But that kind of answered your question. But out of the ones you said, I don't know. Joe Satriani is probably the best, in my opinion, as far as like technical prowess. But I don't know. I just don't like a lot of those. I don't like instrumental guitar music, really. That sounds weird to say on my channel. Like, I don't mind when it's one track on a record. I think that's kind of cool. Like, the instrumental tracks on the last Ghost record were really good. But, I can't take a whole album of that stuff. Not my thing. It's really not my thing on that. Let's see here. So, Vice Versa wants to know, you're stuck on an island and can only listen to one Kiss song for the rest of your life. Only one. Which would it be? Wow, that's a tough one. Guys, what's your one Kiss song, Desert Island song? Let me know in the chat while I'm trying to think of it. I do want to know. That's a hard one. Because, like, I don't know if you pick, like, your favorite necessarily song or, like, the one that has the most variety. Because if you go with most variety, like, I think Black Diamond's a good one because it's one of my favorite songs, but it does have variety, especially if you go with the original studio recording because you have the slow start, you have the rockin' middle section, you have the doomy ending that sounds like a Black Sabbath song, and vocally you've got Paul and Peter represented, and really Gene too. So Black Diamond might be the Desert Island song of choice just by default because I really like it. It's one of my favorites. So that's what I'm gonna go with for now. I don't know. Maybe I'd have to think about it a little. That's what I'm gonna go with. I think it's a good one. Let's see here. Do you think being a billionaire gets to people's heads in a way that makes them kind of crazy? You've got so much, but your brain makes you want more. That's what P. Como wants to say. CMO. I don't know if I'm saying. The hardest thing of being on Twitch. I never can say anyone's name right. I don't know. I think, you know, I know that this is a very perplexing character to bring up and people don't like to talk about him. They don't like to admit they like him. I love a lot of his records. Kanye West said, "What genius do you know that's not crazy?" That's how he said it. And I don't disagree with him. I say this to myself. Anyone that makes a YouTube channel is a little bit, not even a little bit. Anyone that makes a YouTube channel is narcissistic. That's how it is. My opinion is more important than yours. That's what we're saying. And the same thing kind of goes over to billionaires. It depends, I think, a lot on the billionaire side of things, how you got the money. If you were born into it, it's going to affect you a lot different than if you get there on your own. If you work hard for it and you made the money, it's your money, you know. So I think the money definitely can have a tendency to make someone crazy, but I also feel if they made it themselves, probably something a little off to begin with and a little bit, you know, they were more driven than you or I, plainly. You know, even though that's also a hard thing to assess, the how driven you are versus the success you get is hard to assess because a lot of times it comes down to who you know, how you execute the things you do with the people that you know, the places you are, you know, everything around you. So it's really hard to assess that, but I do think money can go to people's heads. I really do, but it also doesn't have to. You know, so it kind of depends on the person, I think. You know, and again, you can look at famous people and see that. You can look at, you know, the great argument always in the 80s was Michael or Prince, you know. And in the 80s, anybody would have said Prince was the crazy, weird one, right? That's what his music and his persona made people perceive him as. And Michael was the nice, innocent pop musician, right? Well, if you asked anybody past that time period, 1995 forward to be exact, even though Prince had some stuff with his name, once he got out of that funk, I don't think anybody would deny that Prince is generally looked at as the more positive character in media. We'll just leave it at that. We're not going to go into details, but I think that's a great example of how money affects people differently. You know, plus Prince donated to a lot of charities before he went away. So let's see here. Let's see, I'm kind of behind on the chat. Oh, also, Slick also said that on a desert island, his would be Cold Gin, or hers. I don't know if that's a he or her, or they perhaps. I didn't say that earlier, but Cold Gin would be a good one for a desert island. Melissa loves Sign of the Times. Yeah, it's a great record, absolutely. Dash Down. Congrats, Chris. Yes. Congrats, Chris. Enjoy your energy. I do enjoy my energy. Hopefully you do too. You, my friend, are in deep kimchi. I'm in deep, what, debt? I don't know. Yeah, Melissa's thanking me. I thank you. Let's see here. Vice versa. Bleach, Berserk, Vagabond. Which of those three is the superior manga? Berserk. Easily. I didn't have to think on that one. That was an easy one. I love Berserk. Vagabond, never watched or read it. Bleach, I did like it back in the day, but I kind of got past it also. I remember watching it on fan subs on a Windows Media Player on CDRs. I remember with Bleach. I mean, I know you're talking about the manga, and I'm talking about the anime, I suppose, but yeah, easily Berserk. Come on, that's not even a question. Who's your top? Oh, Trevor, you've got a big question there. I see top 10. Top 10 bands. I know I ask you a lot, but I only know Kiss, Alice, and Aerosmith. I don't remember anyone else. So top 10 bands. This is going to change every time. So if you guys go back to the last live stream I did before this, which was in July, I bet I say something different there. But let's go. Top 10 bands. Let's count them down. This isn't necessarily in order, even though Kiss is number one. So you have Kiss, Alice Cooper, Butch Walker, Prince, Sheena Ringo, as well as Tokyo Jihin. They kind of go together. Aerosmith, as we said. This is where it gets tough after I get some of the like super, needed one. Ramones. I don't know how I almost skipped over that. Ramones, definitely. Let's see. The next three are what's going to be hard. Going to be the hard one. Iron Maiden. We'll go with Iron Maiden. I really like them. Good live show. We have to have one hip hop group in there. Wu-Tang Clan. We're going to go with Wu-Tang Clan for that. And number 10. Tom Petty, probably. Go Tom Petty. That works. There you go. I don't know if that's like a set in stone list. I would almost have to sit down and really think about it to do a real top 10, but that's off the top of my head. Ones that come to mind. Some honorable mentions, of course, you would have. I'm looking around the room like, what do I have around the room? Almost have to go through my... Oh, I left Cheap Trick out. I'd probably take Wu-Tang out actually and throw Cheap Trick in. See, this is hard to do off the top of your head. But honorable mentions, the Misfits would definitely be in there as well. Slayer would be somewhere in the honorable mentions. Same thing with Ozzy and Black Sabbath. I don't know if you'd want to count them as one or two bands, but I'm sure Ralph Vieira would count them as two bands, so we'll go with that. What would Ralph do, yeah, so I don't know. X-Japan would also be in there if we went past that. But that's a hard one. Prince was so underrated as a guitarist. That's true. He really was. People didn't realize that, especially till his later career when he really started to pull the guitar out. Have you guys ever seen the best thing ever is there's a press conference. I believe it's still on YouTube. Who knows? Prince stuff can be weird on YouTube. There's a press conference from when Prince was going to play the Super Bowl. We all remember that iconic performance. And it's a press conference they were holding before the event. And the big deal was that Prince was going to do interviews at it, open with the press, something Prince never did. But he also had a full band set up on stage kind of thing. And they made a big deal like, Prince is going to take questions, it's going to be great, blah, blah, blah. And the first person to ask a question, he didn't even answer. He just went into playing, and they played like a 20, 30-minute set. I don't know what it was. They played music as the point. And he never answered the question. He just left the stage. Like, that's the most Prince thing ever. Like, he's going to take questions. Nope, he's just going to play his guitar for you. It was great. Absolutely masterful move. Like, the ultimate trolling. Before trolling was even a term, I think. Let's see here. Vice said, Sure Know Something. I'm assuming that was the Desert Island Kiss song we were talking about earlier. Sure Know Something's a good pick. I know that that's, like, generally speaking, one of everyone's, like, favorite Kiss songs. And I've always liked the song, but it's not, like, my favorite. But I love it. I mean, the Unplugged one's great. Has a good versatility to it. Let's see. Slick Dazzler says, here's his... I guess we're talking about favorite guitarists because I see Jimmy Page, Mr. Ace Frehley, Vivian Campbell, that's great. Jakey Lee, I saw him play at a club a couple years ago. Randy Rhoads, that's a good mix, a good choice. Mick Mars, underrated guitarist right there. Eddie Van Halen. Yeah, I'm old. It's fine to be old. It's fine to be There's nothing wrong with getting old, okay, people? There's nothing wrong with it. People! There's nothing wrong with it, you know? We're all gonna be an old one day, so it's fine. Let's see here. Desert Island Kiss song. The Ladies' Room from Trevor. That's an interesting choice. I think that's a good song, but I also think it's an interesting choice that I don't know that a lot of people would choose. That's cool, though. I mean, it's a good song. It's a good song. Ladies' Room is great. It's not... you know, I mean, is it about pooping? It's about pooping, right? Let's see. Melissa says 100,000 Years is her Desert Island song. That's a good choice because if you go with the Alive one, it's really long and it's got a cool drum solo, and it has Paul screaming. So it has a lot of good stuff in there. So that's a good choice for a Desert Island. I'm so behind on the chat. What just happened? My whole technology just crashed for a sec, and my Wi-Fi lights. Everything is so weird, is what Trevor says. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't understand technology. I'm an old. Let's see here. I leave talking about Kiss, come back to talking about money. Now that I think of it, those two things aren't far off. That's true. Kiss FAQ, what's up? What's going on, Kiss FAQ? I know who you are behind the screen. How are you doing out there? Is everything going good? Your neck of the woods? I hope it is. I really do. I've been kind of out of the picture for a little bit, but we're back now, so I hope everything's going well. If you guys haven't checked out kissfaq.com, it's .com, right? I don't know. It's saved in my browser history, so I don't never have to type it. You should check out the Kiss FAQ. I assume everybody here has checked it out. Also, they have a YouTube channel. They're in the chat. Click on it. Check out their videos. Great podcast that comes out consistently as opposed to my videos that will never come out consistently from this point on, more than likely. Maybe we'll get back on schedule one day. Who knows? Who knows? But we are consistent on Twitch, as we said. We haven't plugged that in a while. Yeah, if you guys, again, you know, it feels like everything is just an infomercial for the Twitch stream at this point. But again, if you guys haven't followed me over there, there's the link for you. You gotta check it out. Let's see here. Dashdown wants to know, what's your favorite Vinnie Vincent Kiss guitar solo or moment? My favorite Vinnie my favorite Vinnie Vincent moment, if we want to get like technical, I gotta be 100% honest, was meeting him in Atlanta. I mean, despite all the drama and ridiculousness that's in... Oh my, okay. Give me 1 second, guys. We got to remove somebody here. See here. For harassment. Hate to have to do. Yeah. And we'll delete the next comment. Cool. But yeah, favorite Vinnie Vincent moment. Sorry to be interrupted by a troll there, guys. Favorite Vinnie Vincent moment had to be meeting him in Atlanta, honestly, at his big coming back. Had to do that as my favorite moment for sure. Just a great moment. He was really super nice, and you know, it was a great moment. There was a lot of drama around that, and obviously all the things that, you know, moving forward were a little bit different with him. But that moment, that actual moment of meeting him, getting a hug from him just being so accommodating and nice, it was a good time. It was a good time too, because he's always been nice to the fans. And let's see here. He's always been nice to the fans. He's always been a good guy, as far as that side of things go. But obviously the things that follow. That's my favorite moment. As far as a favorite guitar solo, I'm not sure what my favorite guitar solo is. I mean, as far as a musical moment goes, I would say maybe A Million to One's a great song. That's a good one. That's a very good one. And let's see here. Okay, how do we block this guy? I am sorry, guys. Sorry for this. This guy's now saying hateful racial things. Get him reported. Get his account banned. All right. Cool. All right, so yeah, Million to One's great, Creatures of the Night's great, all kinds of things. So good stuff indeed. Let's see here. We have fallen behind on the chat here. Okay, so let's see here. Favorite new metal band? I'm not big on new metal, in all honesty, and that's no hate towards it. Not big on it. I love Code Orange. They're a newer band that has a lot of new metal influence, to be fair. But going back to the day, I mean, I don't know. The first Slipknot record's pretty good. Rage Against the Machine's good. Are they even considered new metal since they were kind of like predating all that? Okay, what is going? All right, so yeah, Slipknot's good. Rage Against the Machine's good. You know, some of those kind of like early predecessors of new metal. I love Faith No More. They had a lot of influence on it. So I don't know. There was a lot of cool stuff though, in that regard. I mean, it was a cool time. That was, you know, a time that I was young when all that stuff was coming out, and you know, I was young when it was coming out, and it was the music of my time, so to speak. I just wasn't as into it as much because of, you know, but I was also trying to be somewhat modern at the time. So those were some good records: Slipknot, Rage Against the Machine, things like that. Let's see. Trevor is throwing in his top 10 favorite bands: Kiss, Van Halen, Alice Cooper, Motley Crue, Cheap Trick, Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, Rush, The Beatles, Leonard Skinner. That's a good list. Let's see here. Lindsey Buckingham is a really underrated guitarist. That is true. That is true. Kiss FAQ, happy anniversary. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I really, really do. I really do. 4 years on this platform. It's insane. Will we have 4 more? Who knows? But we'll see. We certainly will see. Let's see here. Trevor says honorable mentions for his favorite bands: Rat, Wasp, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Dio, Def Leppard, and Greta Van Fleet once they get more records out. All right, that's a good mix of that. All right, so let's see here. Got so many comments I've removed from these troll bots now. Let's see here. Atlanta was sick. The gathering of so many fans in one place when all of the unknown of what was going to happen. Yeah, I mean, Atlanta, you can't take away that the Kiss Atlanta Expo was just like, at the time, an absolutely and phenomenally, you know, is magic at the end. They say that a lot with Kiss stuff, but like, you know as well as I do, anyone that was there in that room at that moment when Vinny was on stage and did like the 4 acoustic songs, like that was a special moment to be in the room for. It really was. Really, really was. Especially when he did the, you know, again, did the songs and all that, you know. Also, I had the worst experience being in the hall where there was almost a riot at the convention, so there's that as well. Yeah. Chris Senzak, hey buddy, you just finished our live stream. Congrats on 4 years. Thank you so much for being here. Mr. Senzak here is a guy that runs a really cool convention in Nashville called the Rock and Pod Expo, and perhaps he's also on the Decibel Geek podcast. Always been a good guy. He's one of the what are we up to, 5 or 6 Chris's in town that like Kiss, that it's like our favorite band on all of us. I don't know what it is, but something about living in our city and being named Chris and being into Kiss, you're going to be friends with each other. That's what it is. We kind of need to start a tribute band, the Chris's, where we all just cover Peter Criss songs in Peter Criss makeup. That needs to happen. Let's see here. Yeah, great melodic solo in A Million to One. Yeah, A Million to One has a great solo, and it's just like a great song. It's written well. You know, it's just a good thing, you know. Overall, it's very good, good composition, you know. Look it up, it's a good record. It's a very good record. But yeah, so I've actually gotten caught up on the questions. Who else has some stuff to say? I know things there got perhaps a little messy. Hopefully I didn't delete anybody that, that actually mattered. But do we have any more questions? Been here for 4 years. I'm sure you guys have a few more things you want to know about. I'm not sure to how long we're going to be going tonight, just because I've done some of these mega marathon ones for an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. But I haven't done 4 hours. I've done 4 hours on Twitch, but I don't know. We'll see how long we go tonight. But it's been cool to be here for 4 years. It's definitely been cool to be here for 4 years. It's kind of an amazing experience doing all that, because, you know, you don't do a lot of things for 4 years in your life. Most people don't have jobs for 4 years. They don't have girlfriends for 4 years, boyfriends for 4 years. They don't have houses for 4 years. I don't mean that they're thrown on the street, just they don't maybe have the same house for 4 years. You know, they don't have the same car for 4 years sometimes. So it's a long time to do anything, basically. But you know, it's really exciting. And the thing that's crazy is all the cool people I've met along the way. You know, the Atlanta Kiss Expo, you know, 3 years ago was a great catalyst to really meet a lot of people that were involved in the community that weekend. A lot of because in the Kiss community, it's more podcasts than it is YouTubers, just to be blunt. And sometimes people say that this channel is a podcast, which in a way I suppose it is. But it's not the same as those guys that are going on and doing an hour and a half interviews and stuff with these cool artists. They're different arts. They're different. They're very different. Because a lot of the podcasters don't want to do YouTube videos. A lot of YouTubers don't want to do podcasts, you know. So they are very different. But speaking of podcasts, very exciting announcement about Rockin' Pod this next Friday. I'm excited about that. I hope whatever the announcement is, it works out in 2021. The year of hopefully everything getting better. That could be the motto for the year. Hopefully everything getting better. But building all these relationships with everybody is really cool. You know, making some amazing friends. You know, and all these relationships, you know, it was crazy. Like the last time I saw Kiss in my hometown on the End of the Road tour, I saw so many people that I knew. And I haven't been to a Kiss related event the last 2 or 3 years that people haven't recognized me. At the Indianapolis Kiss Expo a couple years back, the big one with like Ace and everybody at it, that was ridiculous. I was just like, every 5 or 10 minutes somebody's like, oh, I saw your videos, they were so great. Really you did? That's cool. In Indianapolis, you know, I should have been booked as a guest at that point. I had more people talking to me than some of the guests that were at the event, and that's not putting anyone down, but it's the truth. So it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy, kind of insane. Because I still consider this such a small pet project, you know, such a baby. It's a baby, raising it like a kitty, but you know, it's growing every day. But one thing I do want to do moving forward is getting the Kimchi Crisp branding and everything that I do, basically. That's why, again, this channel's name is going to be changing soon to have, it's still going to be there, but it's going to be a little different because I don't want to clash with the Twitch too much. And it's going to be really great, you know. And having that everywhere, you know, and building the brand, because like I'm excited when things are let up and we can actually go to events again, and we can actually go out in public again, because I'm just gonna keep building this, my friends. I want to do vlogs on here. That was the thing. I started it last year, and then it kind of just went away. But you know. But we'll hopefully do some vlogs next year. Rockin' Pod is the next Rockin' Pod that happens, that we can happen at. We're gonna do some vlog stuff, I think. I'm gonna do. I kind of did it last time. It was more of a recap video. I'm gonna do more vlogging. I'm gonna film so much stuff there. It's gonna be insane. Next Kiss Expo, gonna film so much stuff. It's gonna be insane, because you never know when these precious moments can be just taken out of your hands, as we've seen firsthand. Speaking of that, my friend Ethan Hopper said he told me to say hi. I know who Ethan is. He saw me at the Indianapolis Kiss Expo. That's where we met in person, after he was watching the videos for a while. Oh, the message went away after you said that. Okay. That being said, hi Ethan. Geeky tech question: what are you using to play music behind you? I'm using the wall. No. You mean like, oh yeah, like in the background, so that you mean the music behind me or the music in the video? Clarify, Chris. I'm not sure what I should answer. Do you mean like those are speakers? That's not what I'm playing music off of in the video. Do you mean the music in the video? I'm not good at doing this. I've had so much experience over the last while, and I'm still not good at being able to figure out what anybody's asking in their questions. You gotta write me a paragraph. I'm an old. I don't understand anything. But I can tell you what the answer is. You screwed up the message, so that's why you deleted it. Oh, okay. Okay. I saw the message, though. That's what's important. Oh, music in the video. Music in the video. Oh, yeah. I'm just playing it off of OBS Streamlabs and using a what is it called, multi-capture or something. I can't remember the technical name. I can show you that, Chris. Well, but you have to have the same software I use, I suppose, as well to do that. Because you guys stream now, if you use OBS Streamlabs, I can show you how to do it. It's not super hard, but it's hard to find it. It's hard to find it in the program, but once you get there, it's not super hard to do. But yeah, I'm just using it, just streaming it off of that. And that's my band playing as well. So. I'm just playing Welcome to Saber School over and over and over again. It has a big guitar in it, has guitar solos. It seems appropriate for the channel. But yeah, so I'm using OBS Streamlabs. That's what I use all my streaming off of. That's what most people use when doing Twitch or any type of video game streaming. And honestly, it works for anything very well. It works better than like the in-house stuff for YouTube, which is a joke. You know, better than the in-house stuff for Twitch, better than the in-house. Facebook streaming is a complete joke as far as it being good quality. I learned that when we were doing all of our virtual DragonCon stuff this year for Night Sabers, and what they were doing with the Facebook stuff, it just didn't come out good. It really didn't. It came out as a bad source. You use StreamYard, but I'm considering OBS. Well, StreamYard and OBS have different functions, essentially. The thing is with OBS, and you can do this with OBS, StreamYard though is more the functionality of StreamYard is to get it to multiple platforms, and OBS and Streamlabs OBS is kind of more directional, but you can do different platforms. However, there's two types of OBS too. There's regular OBS and then Streamlabs OBS. I'm using the Streamlabs version because it's better for overlays and doing things like music and throwing in like extra video content and being able to do stuff like the little I'm not pointing to it right, doing like little pictures and stuff like that. Streamlabs OBS is the way to go for that. Most things you need to figure out how to do in there too, you can figure out through YouTube videos, so that's really good too. StreamYard is what was used when we were on DragonCon, and I'm not sure it was the best. Just to be frank on that. And so I think using some version of OBS, specifically the Streamlabs version, is definitely optimal. I've used the regular OBS as well. I used that early on, and it's funny because I go back and look at my first stream on here and it was kind of garbage, but that was also because my internet was bad at that point. It took me doing streams to learn my internet was bad. Isn't that fun? Let's see here. Trevor wants to know my all-time favorite album. Yours is Van Halen 3. All-time favorite album is a hard one to pick. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't. I mean, it's easy to think of some of my favorite albums, but picking just one, it's kind of impossible. Alive is a good one. Hotter Than Hell is another good one. Love Gun, those are the Kiss ones that always go up there. Alice Cooper, Welcome to My Nightmare is always consistently in my top albums, as well as From the Inside from Alice Cooper, consistently at the top. Funny enough, that record I mentioned earlier, Sports by Tokyo Jihen is always up near the top. The first Ramones record, always near the top. Let's see. It's just a hard thing to think of your favorite albums. I'd have to have something from Butch Walker in there, maybe Sycamore Meadows. Have to have something from Prince. That's a really hard one because they're all so good. Maybe Sign of the Times with Prince. We mentioned that record earlier in the stream also. I've listened to a lot of good music recently. It's hard to pick favorite albums. It's like it's just impossible for me sometimes. You know, you'd have to have a Cheap Trick one in there. You'd have to have In Color or something like that in there as well. So it's just really hard. Vanishing Vision by X Japan perhaps would be up there. That's something I think of when I think of great records. Appetite for Destruction, of course, as well. A lot of good records. It's so impossible to pick. It's really hard. Let's see here. Oh, Van Halen 2, not Van Halen 3. You know, when you said that, I was a little surprised, but I wasn't. Hey, there's no shaming here. You said you liked every Cheap Trick record earlier, including The Doctor, so, you know. Favorite Thin Lizzy album. This message is Greg Troyan approved. I mean, that's really all that Greg does is listen to Thin Lizzy, it seems like. I mean, it's gonna be Chinatown, I think, actually, for Thin Lizzy. I love that record. It's so good. So good. The song Chinatown is good. Everything's good on it. I love Chinatown. It's like the most underrated record, I feel, in some ways too. You know, because I mean, let's be fair. In America, Thin Lizzy's like a 2-hit wonder for the most part, but real people into the music, we know what's up. We know that. But I need to get an original copy of Chinatown on vinyl at some point. That's like one of those goals. That's something I need. I haven't been buying a lot of records recently because I don't know. I like buying records in person. Can't really leave the house a lot right now. Fave Crunkcore. Oh my god, I remember that. I remember that subgenre, if you will. You know, it's like a scene related to scene, but I couldn't tell you a single band that was in that genre. What were some of the bands for that peak homo? Because I remember that being a thing. I think I remember it being a thing I didn't like a whole lot, you know, if I'm being 100% honest. But I couldn't tell you a single band in it. I know that was the time period when you'd go to Warped Tour and like overnight it went from like pop punk and like a couple old school bands to like you had all the screamo kids and you had like a lot of hip hop emerging, but then like the crunkcore stuff came in. That was the time where you had a bunch of like hip hop beats with like people just like doing screamo yells over it, and I don't know. I thought it was always it was an interesting, like artistically speaking, it's an interesting combo, I suppose, but it's not one that resonated with me at the end of the day. Just didn't. It's kind of like when you hear, this is obviously very different, but it's like when you hear like the like pop country guys like almost kind of singing, almost kind of rapping over like hip hop beats with like country guitars and such over it. It's weird. It's a weird situation. But Lil Jon is crunkcore. Okay, I remember Lil Jon, obviously. Broken Side. I remember that name, but I couldn't tell you their music. I remember everyone just loving Lil Jon, almost like Lil Jon was like a meme before memes were memes, right? Basically. I mean, because like James, like, can you imagine how the meme space would have been the meme sphere, if you will, when Dave Chappelle was like, you know, the biggest thing, when Chappelle Show was like the biggest thing in the world. Can you imagine that? I remember going to school and people just screaming Chappelle quotes all day. It made you want to hate the show, but the show was so good that you couldn't hate it. I also want to say that I do hope that Chappelle recovers. Side note, if you guys didn't know, he has the pandemic, unfortunately. Got it from playing shows in Texas. That's nothing against Texas. It's just saying you shouldn't be playing shows right now. You shouldn't be going to shows right now. So I hope he recovers. I hope he's strong. He apparently has like 0 symptoms, but he tested positive, and they had like multiple tests on him because he's a famous person, so he can do that. Now they're doing tests on everyone that was in the audience that night, as well as Joe Rogan, who was there. I think Joe's okay though. That's good. Regardless if you're a fan of him or not, it's good. I don't wish the pandemic on anybody. Favorite ska music? I'm not huge on ska. I only know the more mainstream stuff. I always liked the Mighty Mighty Bosstones though. They were good. I guess they are good. They're still a band. They come from like a punk and hardcore background, so there's that. I always really like the Independents. I don't know if anybody knows them, but they were this like band. They're still a band as far as I know, which is insane. They were produced by Joey Ramone, like their first record was before he passed. So that tells you how long they've been around. And they were what they call themselves like horror, scary, ska, punk, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. They were kind of like the Misfits mixed with like the Ramones and a ska band, if that makes sense. Like they had like ska breakdowns, but they were like, they had like the makeup and everything. And their first record was like straight up ska, but then after that they introduced a lot of punk and even a lot of classic metal and stuff. They had a really good guitarist. They did a Rocky Horror Picture Show cover once. That was cool. And I like the Independents. They were pretty good. They're a pretty good band. Ooh, they're called the Daddies now. That doesn't make their name much better, but I get why they took the other part off. I forgot about that band. I really did. The Daddies still sounds bad. Maybe they should have changed it to like, what's the least offensive word in their original title? Maybe the Cherries? I don't know. I had a friend that he's still a friend. I just haven't seen him in forever. He lives in Japan, but his name in one of his old bands that was kind of like a Ramones style leather, you know, punk band was Cherry the End. So that's a good nickname. Did I listen to DD Ramone's rap album? Oh god, DD King, that was the name of it. It's not good, yes. Yes is the answer. Yes, I listened to it. Yes, it is racially offensive as well. Hearing him talk about it is racially offensive. Hearing the record is just offensive to your auditory senses as well. Everything about it's bad, but it's also like I don't know. You got to give it up for the guy trying something that like nobody would have expected from him. And could you imagine if someone like, I don't know. I feel like now it's a lot more open for people doing that. You have like a lot of these more current rappers like Machine Gun Kelly or like Post Malone or somebody like that that like they're okay admitting they're into rock, or in Post Malone's case country and such like that too. But back in the day, if you were into punk, you couldn't really be into hip hop too much, which doesn't make a lot of sense because when you look at early punk and early hip hop, they came from the same place. A lot of parts of it did. They're very, very New York, very street, very tough. But they're also very different, you know? And it's interesting that people didn't see the similarities a little bit quicker, you know, at the end of the day. Because they are very similar. And that's always why I've liked a lot of early hip hop. I remember getting into the first NWA record, Straight Outta Compton, because it was back during the file sharing days of like Napster and all that stuff, and I'd heard Slayer, and that wasn't that offensive to me. And I'd heard, you know, all the crazy bands, Bathory and all this that were like the crazy metal bands, but like they were just singing about Satan and stuff like that. And punk rock I'd gotten into, but that wasn't too bad. I mean, the Misfits had some pretty, you know, questionable lyrics, but I was looking for something more like hard. And then I heard Straight Outta Compton. I was like, that's pretty hard, you know. That's a pretty ridiculous record. And even at that time, listening to that, you know, even to this day, Straight Outta Compton's a fairly offensive record in a lot of ways, but it's a classic at the same time too. So you can't, you know, forget about the classics like that. And you know, it is what it is. But I feel like if Straight Outta Compton came out today in the same landscape we're in, it would be embraced by the rock crowd as much as the hip-hop crowd. I really do think that. Public Enemy definitely would be. They were sampling Slayer. Or they were heavy. Public Enemy is a heavy band. But, you know, that's kind of going off on a side tangent of what you actually asked about. Greg, man, happy anniversary, Kimchi. Happy being here, Greg. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Glad to see you here. Haven't seen you in a little bit. I'm hoping to do these streams a little bit more often, but first one in 6 months. I remember when I first started doing the streams on here too, because we're kind of just going all over the place, but that's what these are. I don't really plan anything out. When I first put these streams, you know, I started doing these streams on here, I initially was like very overreaching with what I thought I would do, because at first I was like, oh, maybe I'll do one every week. And then I did one every week on here for like 3 weeks straight, and just every time that I did them, they had less and less viewers and less viewer engagement. Because we were doing the same thing. We were doing Q&As, Let's Chats, Let's Hangs, all that fun stuff. And so I think I was a bit overzealous saying once a week. But once a month, maybe? I don't know. Maybe I could do these streams with like an actual purpose. That's something I've always thought. Tonight's purpose is just celebrating 4 years on YouTube. But I could do them with an actual purpose outside of that. You know, like do like a album pickups stream or something like that. I haven't done an album pickups in a while, and I've got a lot of records. I haven't been buying a lot, but I still have a lot. So perhaps we'll do that. That might be the next one. That's actually a pretty good idea. Would you guys like that? Do a recent records pickup stream? Because I've got a lot. I've got a box like right. You can see part of my records. That box below, that's ones that haven't been filed away yet because they're new-ish to me. And that's some of those I've had for like 6 months now, but they're still new to me. Would that work? Would that be cool? Would that be a good stream? Be a fun way to spend a Friday, Saturday, Tuesday night? I don't know. Trashy fan. It was acceptable at the time. I don't even know what I was saying then, but what's going on, Trashy fan? Welcome to the stream. Trashy's always on the Twitch streams. He knows what's up. I've been preaching the good gospel at Twitch all night, Trashy. Trying to get everybody to come on over and enjoy the fun times we have. They're fun, aren't they? Better say they're fun. Yeah. And I did throw into the chat too, talking about support too. I did just throw into my PayPal link again. We are taking donations. YouTube doesn't pay us anything to do these videos. AKA they don't pay me anything to do these videos. So donations are good. I still am, like I said, I said this earlier, and I don't know, we have some of the same people and some new people. I'm toying with the idea. I don't know how I feel about it, but of having people be able to donate and then suggest a video topic. The problem is I'd have to have a way of like pre-approving these topics though, because I don't want someone to like send the money in and then they have like a topic that's just like something I would never in a million years talk about. and then I have to do a video on it because they donated the money. That seems like a bad idea to me. So if there'd have to be some kind of way of pre-approval. I don't know. People could like DM me their ideas and then go from there. I don't know what it is. You like that idea, Melissa? That's good. That's good. We might do that. I was already thinking about that, funny enough, like earlier, and I meant to bring it up even though we just got to the point of bringing it up. But doing a records pickup live stream would be dope because there'd be something like consistent to talk about. So even if only like 2 people showed up to the stream and nobody was talking, I could still just make a video. And those videos are like kind of hard to make when you're off stream sometimes because you have to like film all the stuff and then you have to film the B-roll and hope that the stuff's in focus. But if you're doing it on a live stream, you can have every mistake in the world. It doesn't matter. You know, it's all good. Space Taco TV, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Glad you're here. Space Taco TV, that's somebody that everybody in the chat should go check out. A lovely YouTube channel. Lovely couple of people. They also have a cat and a rabbit. They make video game videos and stuff. They're nerds, you know. They're nerds, but in the most positive way possible. They're pretty funny. They're funny. I spend time staring at the boy, mostly in the couple. I stare at him, and you know, maybe the thoughts are impure, maybe they're not. I don't know. I'll leave that up to your imagination. Trashy Fan says, so fun, especially when Chris is mad because he can't beat a Mario level. Yeah, my Twitch is nothing but anger usually. No, I don't know about that. Sometimes it's anger. Sometimes it's excitement. Sometimes it's just pure stupidity. Usually it's pure stupidity. I don't know when I'll be next on there too, because I know some people have been checking it out throughout this stream. Maybe I'm thinking about maybe doing a surprise stream tomorrow night. It won't be a surprise to any of you if you show up, I guess now, but I don't really have anything set in stone, but I'm thinking I might, just because like it's a Saturday during a pandemic and I have nothing to do. Nothing to do at all, just like all of you guys that are hanging out here. But tonight we are celebrating 4 years on YouTube. Woo! 4 years of mediocrity. But it's still great to see you guys here, because like with this being the first stream we've done on here in 6 months, again, something like that, it's really great to see some of the returning faces. People like Melissa here, people like Greg, people like Trevor, people like Chris Senzak. First time he appeared, but like I've known him in my life forever. Let's see, people like all the trolls I had to block earlier. It's nice to see them. Kiss FAQ, you know, a lot of good people have been in here tonight, and it's absolutely wonderful. It's a wonderful time, and I really do hope we can keep doing videos on here for a while. It's just, again, the Twitch stuff is going to take a little bit of a precedence, just because, I don't know, it's what I want to do. And we're not doing this, you know, we're not doing this because of some big industry or anything like that, because there's no industry left for this kind of stuff. I mean, there is if you're huge, but at my level, you know, at our level, there's not. Really not. Happy 4 years. Yeah, it's been 4 years. 100 beers and all the cheers. I don't know. That wasn't a very good rhyme. I do think if we make it to 5 years on the channel, I shouldn't say if, I should say when. I already have some ideas for what 5 years will be. I had some of those ideas for this year. I thought it'd be cool to do them. Some kind of anniversary type stuff, but I wanted to be more of like a milestone year. So assuming we make it 5 years, which who knows in 2021. 2021 is just 2020 part 2 right now. But assuming we make it and it's cool next year and things are fun, I have some ideas for the 5th anniversary, and I even have some ideas going forward this year. I want to do some stuff more than just discussion videos. That's one of the biggest things. That's been the bread and butter of the channel, somewhat out of necessity and somewhat out of ease. But if I did, I don't know what I want to do even, but like, I don't know, I just want to do some stuff that's different, you know? The discussion videos are cool, but like, how many times can you talk about Destroyer? You know what I'm saying? You know, dongle. But how many times can you talk about it? It doesn't make a lot of sense sometimes keeping going. But at the same time, there's channels that's all they do, and that's great too. So it's the situation. But do we have any more questions? Because I'm just kind of rambling at this point. We had like 1,000 questions in a row, and then everybody went away. It feels like. I can see that you're still here on the viewers, but we had a lot of questions, and now we don't. If we don't have any more, I'm probably going to close things up kind of soon. But if you have any more questions, this is a wonderful time to ask them. And you can always ask on Instagram or Twitter or anything like that. I'm not super active on the Twitter account for this page anymore. So I'm said it earlier, but I'm thinking about closing that one out and combining it with my other one, just because my other one I'm way more active on. But we'll see. Let's see here. Not much to talk about in the world of music these days. There's really not. I mean, that's been one of the problems with making videos over the last 6 months. There's not a lot to talk about. Not a lot of new releases. There's not any shows, obviously. There's live streams. Like, you can only do so many videos about everything getting canceled and live streams happening. You know, you can only do so many. Let's see here. Maybe someday we can do a go back to shows. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I have, at this point, I'm down to having like one ticket to something that's postponed. That has a date, but probably won't happen. And that's the Dad Rock Tour of the Year with Motley Crue, Joan Jett, Def Leppard, and Poison. I really want to go to that show. Its opening night is in Nashville now for this year, but it's in like June. I don't think it's gonna happen at a stadium, but we'll see. We'll see. What's the deal with religious hypocrisy? Not touching that one at all on here. Talking about the band Hypocrisy, what's the deal with them? They're a metal band, that's what the deal is. Let's see here. It's important to show appreciation, especially now. I definitely think you are original. I love your channel. Thank you so much, Melissa. You're always so positive. One of the most positive people on here. Definitely. And you're one of the few girls. I look at my analytics, guys, and there's not a lot of ladies on the channel. Who would have thunk a YouTube channel based around classic rock and metal and Kiss and stuff like that doesn't bring the ladies out? Who would have thunk? But I want to also take things in, like, I don't know. I feel like I make jokes and they're funny sometimes, but I want to take things in a more like comedy direction too with the videos. I think like Kiss YouTubers and music YouTubers and stuff like that, journalists, whatever you want to call them, sometimes they're a little bit too serious, you know? And I want to kind of like make it less serious, you know? Because we're just on here talking about these records that are 30 years old. Like, there's no reason to be that serious. It's a little silly that we're still doing this in a positive way, because this is the music of our lives, but it can be less serious, guys. So I'm really trying to figure out how to do that. I mean, I don't know if you guys have noticed in some of my last videos, I've had some things that I tried to make a little bit more like with jokes and stuff, but I don't know if it worked. I don't know. But we'll see. Let's see here. When you getting a new hat to celebrate maybe Kimchi and Red Text? This was made for me by Ask Cosplay Senpai, which is a wonderful cosplay person, creator. I don't know. They're really close to me in proximity, only like a 3-hour drive, but they're moving to another area of the country soon. So I don't know. I've actually thought about that, getting something different from them in general, but I don't know. But yeah, maybe in red text. I don't know. This one actually, when I was getting it, I thought it was white. I didn't realize it was going to be reflective from them. And again, since they had to ship it, since it's 3 hours away, even being my friend, and when I got it, I was a little disappointed. Because white would look better. This kind of doesn't look great on film sometimes, but whatever. I already sent them the money. They sent me the product. I kept it. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. Maybe get a snapback that has the kimchi under here, kind of like my little cartoon me has right there. And that art is provided by Nova Dawn, which is a wonderful artist in my area of the country as well, in Tennessee. So yeah. Always working with the anime community and the nerd and weeb community to build myself and my brand. Let's see here. Is there any upcoming music coming out soon that you are waiting for? My music! I'm finally writing songs again, so that's what I'm waiting on. But no, stuff that's coming up that I'm looking forward to. Funny enough, I thought about doing a video on this, and then like I just decided not to. But stuff that I'm looking forward to this year, new Alice Cooper record, of course. I think it's next month. I think it's February. It's supposed to be like a back to basics, like raw, just Detroit rock record, and that sounds cool to me. Definitely looking forward to that. The 2 songs they've released so far, one of them was kind of good, and the other was really good, so it'll probably be a pretty good record. So definitely the new Alice Cooper. Supposedly there's a new Iron Maiden record maybe coming out this year. I'm looking forward to that. Possibly a new Ghost record. Definitely looking forward to that. I think there might be possibly a new Twin Temple record. Definitely looking forward to that if that's the case. What else is there that's coming out? Oh yeah, of course, Soul Station. Of course. I already said that in my video about Soul Station, but I'm looking forward to Soul Station. That's going to be wonderful. And there are 5 original songs on that one. I learned. I watched an interview with Paul the other day. It's gonna be 5 original songs. The rest are covers, but 5 original songs. I'm looking forward to those the most. He also said they're gonna be releasing singles off of it every 2 weeks leading up. So we've got some new music soon from Mr. Paul Stanley and the Soul Station. So that'll be fun. What about you guys? Anybody looking forward to anything? Maybe I'm leaving something out. There's a Cheap Trick record recorded that supposedly they're waiting till the pandemic's over to release. So I'm looking forward to that whenever it comes out. Let's see here. Bro Kimchi skits, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I mean, I could do skits, maybe. But again, you have to have people around for that. So I've had some ideas, I just never executed them. I don't know why. I don't know. But we'll see here. Do you yearn for the days before political... I mean, we've always had political problems. They've just been brought to the forefront a lot more than usual over the last year. That's all it is there. I mean, there's always been political problems, though. So I don't know. I mean, it's a thing that can't really go away at the end of the day. And it's going to make people confrontational. It's going to make things happen. And occasionally, if you're the guitarist from Iced Earth, you're going to get arrested for it. But other than that, yeah, it's just a thing that we got to deal with sometimes. Do you think Paul is happy about to be away from Gene for a little bit? I don't know. I don't know, because the thing is, like, those guys spend a lot of time together, but we don't really know how much time they spend together when they're on the road. So I mean, and what I mean by that is, like, their traveling accommodation stuff. We don't know everything. I mean, I guarantee that obviously they have different hotel rooms. Okay, the guys aren't broke. They have individual hotel rooms, but, like, we don't know how much they see each other on the road. You can go to a band like Poison, for example, that has classically had problems getting along, and they pretty much just see each other on stage and that's it, and maybe in an interview. And we don't know. That could be Gene and Paul's relationship on the road. So it might not even be a problem for them being together. It might just be that Paul likes being free right now to do other things, and more power to him. I think it's great that we're getting the Soul Station record. I wish it's come out at a different time. I said that in my video about it, but I'm really bummed that we aren't going to get a tour supporting it immediately by any stretch of the imagination. But I hope we get a live stream. I know a lot of people were, like, mad about having to pay for Kiss 2020 Goodbye, and it was a lot of money, so I get it. $40 minimum to get you in the door, but, like, I'd pay a little bit of money for a Soul Station stream. I'd pay like 10 or 15 bucks if it was like a well-produced thing. And they could do that locally. They don't have to go to Dubai to do that. Do it out of Paul's house, It's not that hard. So, I don't know. That didn't exactly answer your question. I don't know how much those guys see each other on the road even. Arc of Life featuring members of Yes! Is that a new band? Is that a release you're looking forward to? I mean, I guess it is, yeah. I've never been a big Yes guy. I don't dislike Yes. I don't know. I've never delved into them. I'm not a big, like... I don't know. They have very long songs. Can you start a channel about international relations, NAFTA, and Europe or the EU? No. That's simple. I've got the channel where I'm doing video game stuff now. Okay. I've got to do that one, which again, plug in the chat here. Even if you guys don't want to go over to Twitch, if you could subscribe to my gaming and anime channel here on YouTube that I just sent in the chat, that would help me out a lot, actually. The baby channel right now, I haven't done much with that. I've uploaded like one video a month for the last 6 months, but I want to do more with it, and I want to build it. It's like I want to build this channel. I want to build everything into this just like universal thing where I'm like, oh, you like rock and roll and Kiss? You come here. You like the video game and anime stuff? You come here. You just want to know about my life? You come here. You want to hang out and party every night of the week? You come here. I want to build this thing, because it's like this brand that's expanding, and like, I don't know, I feel if I like have a lot of if I have a lot of cats that I've taken out of the orphanage, so to speak, it's not even a saying, but if I adopt a lot of rescue cats, eventually one of them is going to turn into Simba and thus will be the Lion King. So it's just like a thing, basically. You didn't know there was a band named Yes, Trashy Fan? You're such a beeb. Oh, hey, Trashy Fan. We were talking about My Chemical Romance earlier for a second. You missed out because you came in late. I said positive things about them, but you missed out because I talked about them for a second. Let's see here. You can't click the link? Why is that? Oh, you know what? I think I know why you can't click the link. I've shared that multiple times, and it's I bet nobody has been able to click the link because the H was not there. I just noticed that. You're the first person that said they couldn't click on it, though, so everybody else has been lying that said they clicked on it. No. See if that works for you. See if that works for you. If it should work for you. It should. Oh yeah, that one works. So yeah, now you should be able to click on it. Hey, we have gotten 2 extra subs on there since this started. I bet somebody figured it out. I bet I messed it up at some point. Let's see here. Yeah. Ah, your girl loves My Chemical Romance too. I bet you do too. Bet you two do too. I can't talk. Seems like well, what we talked about earlier, and I'll go ahead and bring it up again because I know we have at least 2 My Chemical Romance fans here that were not here earlier, is my take on My Chemical Romance is that I saw them in a club here in town that is no longer around. Is this place called Hair of the Dog. It was out near the fairgrounds if you're familiar with the area, but it's no longer here. And I saw them there, maybe 100 kids there, and they all showed up to see the Pink Spiders, which was a local band that probably no one remembers now. They were pretty cool. And I saw them, and it was fun. It was whatever. And then, like, you know, a year and a half later, they became the arena headlining rock and roll opus that they were. And I don't know. I just didn't feel like I needed to, like... I mean, I liked the first 2 records okay. Or first 3 records. Black Parade was the 3rd one. So, yeah, the first 3 are pretty good. But then I kind of lost interest a little bit. But I don't hate on anyone that likes them because despite the fact that there were definitely some, you know, innate differences, they were, you know, for that scene, they were the closest thing they had to a band like Queen or something. So, you know, you got to give the kids what they want. And to be fair, they were they the last, like legitimately, like, real rock band to get to, like, an arena level that's not super awful? Were they the last band? I think they might be. Because, like, think about, like, current rock bands that can play arenas, assuming arenas ever exist again for shows. You know, you have, everyone always says Foo Fighters, but they're not a current band. They've been around since the mid-90s. And then you have My Chemical Romance, which also is not a current band anymore. They're also for the olds, but still, they're current-ish, comparatively speaking. From that same movement, you had Avenged Sevenfold. They can do arenas on their own. You have Five Finger Death crap. They're awful, though, so we don't count them. We don't count them. I really think My Chemical Romance might be the last, like, real, like, I don't know, rock band, if you will, that can play an arena on their own, and it doesn't even have to be a co-headlining thing or anything. You know, you have some other bands that maybe will get there one day, maybe, but everything's been thrown off. You know, I think Ghost was well on their way to becoming an arena headliner, but then 2020 happened. I think the Struts were well on their way, but then 2020 happened. I'm not the biggest. I don't really like Greta Van Fleet, but I think they were on their way as well. Those were kind of the big 3 of the bands I think were really going in the right... They had the right trajectory to be big. And I don't think they'll get less popular because of all this, but I think this at least a year, possibly 2 years, possibly 3 years off the road and off the books is really going to hurt a lot of these bands that were on the cusp of doing really big things. And I mean, not even on a smaller level, too. I think a lot of smaller bands are just going to go away altogether. Danger Days was the comic book one. Yeah, I know Gerard did a bunch of comics and stuff. And whatnot. I just kind of, I don't know. I feel like at one point a lot of their stuff, like, to me, it started sounding kind of samey. But also, like, you gotta remember where I was, because I'm one of the olds. So, you know, I was kind of growing out of that scene as it was the scene, as it was the new scene, you know. I was getting more into, like, you know, like black metal and, you know, all this crazy stuff. And Space Taco says, rock and roll gonna die. It's, you know, the thing is, rock and roll is never going to die. That's a fact. But the way it's consumed and what it's considered will change dramatically, and it already has changed dramatically. The days of a quote-unquote rock and roll band headlining an arena that's a new band, they might be numbered at best, and they might never happen again. Even those bands I just mentioned are very subjective, even if they're rock bands, you know. Ghost, everyone thinks they're stupid because of the outfits and blah, blah, blah. I love Ghost, but a lot of people think that. Greta Van Fleet suck because they sound like Led Zeppelin, you know, it's just how it is. but they're talented guys. And then the Struts are just like a little too poppy for the general rock audience. So like it is a hard thing to really say who the next big rock and roll band could be or should be. Then you have acts like Poppy that's not a rock act at all, but is definitely reinventing the wheel and doing something completely different. So it's very interesting, to say the least. Kiss Posters, happy 4 years. All the best. Welcome to the stream, Kiss Posters. Glad to have you here. I know you've been on several of these before, and you have a cool Instagram and stuff, so I welcome you to the stream. Austin, you're late to the party. You are late to the party. We've been partying for a while, but also you don't want to be early to a party. That's a fact. So it's okay to be late sometimes, as long as, what's that thing that Paul Stanley said? It's okay to oversleep as long as you had a reason or something. Of course, it's like innuendo. It's Paul Stanley. It's Paul Stanley. But yeah, that's what we are doing tonight, celebrating the 4 years. So welcome to everybody that's just now getting here. That being said, we've been going a while, so I'm not sure how much longer we'll be going. But if anybody has any more questions, I would love to answer those, because we've covered a lot of ground tonight. Summary, for anyone that's just joining us, summary of what we talked about. We talked about why I was gone for 6 months. You can go back and watch the video after it's archived. Basically, it's just the world fell apart, including mine, and I needed some time off. And then we talked about some of the future. There is a name change coming to the channel. Once I get that set in stone, you guys will know all about it. And Twitch is important. Go follow me on there. That was another speaking point that's been brought up several times. And then we Q&A'd for like an hour and a half at this point. Yeah, it's been going a while. It's been fun though. It's been absolutely fun. We've had a lot of cool people, a lot of positivity. We got to have a good time basically tonight. But it's something I do want to. I want to try to get back to streaming more and doing some videos more and things like that. So we'll see how this goes. But again, Twitch is the best place to find me online right now. It really is. It's such a fun community, such a fun place, such fun people. Very, very good collective over there that I've been building with my repertoire of Twitchies. Is that a thing anyone has ever said ever until now? Twitchers? I don't think that's good. That's where it would zoom in if we were on a regular edited video where I'm just like, what did I just say? I'm an idiot. Do you like Deep Purple? I'm not. That's one of the classic rock bands I've never super gotten into. So I've never. I can't say that I love them, but I can't say that I hate them either. It's one of those. There's bands that like you haven't investigated enough, and you haven't investigated them enough to really form an opinion. So I have nothing against Deep Purple. I have nothing for Deep Purple, really. They're cool. They're whatever, Do you ever think of changing the style of Night Sabers? More guitar, less ukulele? Well, we don't have a ukulele player currently, so yes. There is new music being worked on, too, so more on that soon as it kind of progresses. But I'm finally writing new songs. That was another thing. During my 6 months off, I couldn't write music. I couldn't do anything. Just a lot, but I've actually wrote a new song or two, and I finished up another one and stuff, so you guys will know about some stuff that's coming up kind of hopefully sooner than later. I don't know, I just feel so weird about putting music out when I can't even do live shows, but I thought that the same thing about it last year when new music was possibly being worked on, and plainly we aren't going to be playing live shows still maybe for a year. Who knows, so I might just have to get over that. I should definitely keep up the live streams. Well, I do on Twitch, but no, I can try to do them on here a little bit more often. I am going to do the record pickups one. I think that would be a fun one. We'll do that. I don't want to set anything in stone, but maybe in a couple weeks, maybe 2 weeks, not next week. I don't want to do them weekly. When I did them weekly before, I only did them weekly for a little while, but again, just the numbers and the engagement and all those fun, positive things that you hear people say a lot, they all went down every week when I was doing them weekly, and that's not a fun place to be in, because then you start to wonder why you're doing it. But a lot of you guys, the true blue people that are here every time, we're still here, but a lot of the people that kind of roll through just more sporadically weren't showing up. And I get it, because if somebody's doing something every week and it's more plentiful, you're not as inclined to click on it. The difference with something like, say, Twitch is that there's people on there streaming 7 days a week, so me doing it 2 or 3 is limited over there by contrast in that regard. But I am going to try to do them on here a little bit more. It's just, it is what it is. One thing too that I always do in these yearly things, this might be a really good way to try to wrap some things up, is I usually make goals for myself. I remember the goal for 2020's videos. It was to get myself to 1,000 subscribers and to get 200,000 views. Neither one of those things happened. Which is fine, because I was gone for half the year. If I had been here the whole time and really been working on it, I have no doubt in my mind I would have hit both of those goals, because I'm not that shy of either of them right now. And when you factor in, if I had been making content for the 6 months I was gone consistently, you know, we would have had anywhere from 36 to 50-ish new videos probably, and some live streams and such sprinkled in there. Yeah, I would have got there on the sub goal and the view goal. It would have happened. So for this year, I'm not setting any goals for myself. My goal is to have fun with it and do it when I can, and really cultivate a fun, awesome experience for all of you guys as well as myself. Because I think that's another thing. When I was really hitting it hard in June before everything just kind of went away, I think I was caring a little bit too much about the people watching, which, you know, I care about you guys, but I wasn't caring about myself as much. That's why we got, again, 12 new things in a month, and I was just kind of exhausted from it. You know, so it happens. It really happens. But my goal for this year is to have fun, keep things going, and not to have any times where for 6 months I put out 4 videos. You know, I don't want that to happen. If I ever even get to the point where I'm doing like a lot of inspiration hits me and I'm trying to make a bunch of like evergreen content, and if you don't know what that means content that isn't necessarily topical, things like record reviews or countdowns, things like that. If I make like 5 of those in a week, which can happen sometimes, I'm not going to upload them all immediately, because that's what I was doing too. I'm going to keep them for when I'm not feeling like making things, because YouTube is kind of like any other form of art. I don't know if it's art, I don't know if it's an art form, but just like making music or doing anything, you have to have inspiration. People that do this for a living are in a little bit of a different spot, and sometimes it shows. And I don't mean that in a bad way, because if I was making a living on here, I'd have to do a new video every week, or 2 a week, or 3 a week, or whatever it was, and that'd be fine. But some of those guys, sometimes when they go from part-time to full-time and they're making money, which is great, you can see a dip in their quality sometimes, and you can also tell when they're phoning it in. You can tell when they're excited about something and when something's a sponsored video. Sponsored by Apex Legends. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell the difference, and I don't want that to ever happen here. You know, on any of these things, if I ever reach the point where I could do it for a living, I don't know that I even would, just to be fair. I don't know that I would. And that's not a, you know, a defeatist attitude towards it. It's just, I don't know that that's really what's in the cards for me, but I also think in the cards for me is always creating something. And this might be that something for the time being. I also, though, want to get back into music soon. I also want to get back into visual art at some point. That's my problem, is that I'm like schizophrenic when it comes to my like interests of what I'm putting out there. So I don't know. That's why I have all this stuff going on at every time, and it's really hard to keep up and know what I'm doing. It's hard for me to keep up and know what I'm doing. Are you ever going to review albums again? I reviewed an album a couple videos ago. I did the well, a couple videos ago. It was back in October now, but I reviewed the new Ace record. Go watch it. Go watch it. Austin. But if you're talking about the classics reviews, Kimchi classics, I do intend to bring those back. I only did 4 episodes of the classics, but that kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier, is that you can only talk about certain things so much. So I mean, I would love to eventually have a review of every Kiss record up on here, but I don't know if that's needed either, you know, is the thing. So we'll see. But yeah, I am going to do album reviews again at some point. You know, definitely with some of the new stuff that comes out this year. I'm going to review the new Alice Cooper record for sure. I'll review Soul Station for sure. If we get that new Iron Maiden record, I'll review that. And I want to review some stuff maybe that you guys are like, it's a little bit off the beaten path for you guys. That was always my goal with this when I started, was to cultivate something around like rock and roll, metal, Kiss fandom, but then like expand it, you know, because I feel that like a lot of people that do this stuff don't challenge their senses enough when it comes to music, and they need to a little bit more. Again, that's why, you know, there's nothing wrong with these channels that 100% live in the past. There's nothing wrong with that, but I don't know that that's the future I necessarily want for this, because I always want to be looking forward. You know, the thing about my channel is, even though I talk about classic rock bands an awful lot for someone my age too that didn't live through a lot of these bands' heydays, if you really look back and look at it, a lot of stuff I do on this channel are discussions about current topics with them, what they're doing on tour, what's happening in the social media landscape with them, you know, things, unfortunately, there were a lot of videos about things being postponed last year. I don't like to live in the past too awful much on this channel, despite the fact that it's a channel rooted in the past. It's like a legacy act, but it's like it's putting out new material somewhat, if that makes any sense. I know that's a roundabout way, but there will be more album reviews, and I don't even say might, there'll probably be some more classic ones, but that's the kind of evergreen content I mentioned earlier that, like, if I film 5 of them in a week, cool, I'll space them out, you know, that's the thing on that. I don't ever want to get known as the guy that just reviews just classic rock albums. Again, there's entire channels dedicated to that. It's wonderful. It's just not me. It's just not me. Good deal is what Space Taco TV says. I agree. I'm a good deal is what I think. Where'd you get the cute little Ace plush in the background? Yeah, little Ace. I got that at the Indianapolis Kiss Expo in Indianapolis. The year that Ace was there, actually. That was what, 2018. There was so much Ace merch at that expo since he was there, and the last day people were just trying to unload the stuff. I think I paid like $5 for that back there, and it's like, it's pretty sizable, so that was cool. It was like the last day, like I remember there were like tables, they just had just like droves of Ace stuff no one had bought because they brought too much. Most people brought their own Ace stuff to get signed. So the last day a lot of that stuff was getting clearance out, especially the bigger items. I got it for $5, pretty cool. I'd like to have a whole set of them someday, but you know, I don't. So let's see here. We are not worth the burnout. You're not worth the burnout. I'm not worth it either, I guess. Jersey Joe, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. How are things in Jersey, Joe? But yeah, so that's kind of like, there's just this future, this idea that I want to build. I'm not sure I'll ever achieve it on here, but that's what keeps you going. That's what keeps you motivated, because if you do everything that you ever wanted to do, then what's the point of continuing to do it? That sounds stupid, I know, but you hear that stuff from these guys. You hear that from Paul talking about Soul Station. There's so many more plateaus to go to. I mean, like one thing I would love to do at some point from my content creation, be it from this channel, be it from Twitch, be it from whatever. This is not the reason you do it, and this is probably more of a money losing thing than anything else, but like I want to be booked as a guest, be it over the years playing anime cons, but I want to do it just once from this. I don't want to have to, you know, do all the music stuff, and it's not that I don't want to have to do it, I just want to achieve that level of success or recognition or something. I think that's also part of the reason why I'm always dipping my, you know, my hands in so many cookie jars, so to speak, is because I have so many goals, and you know, maybe like 2% of them can get achieved, but that's 2% more than the people that don't really go for them, you know, at least. So and I think that should be some words of wisdom to all you guys. Now I'm getting all like, you can do it. You know, but it's true. You know, we've got a lot of downtime right now, and I think everybody should be working on whatever they want to do in their downtime. It's great to spend 3 hours watching anime or 12 hours playing video games or whatever, but sometimes even that stuff, you can find a way to turn it into something that you can better yourself with. I might just be inspired because I was watching Mega Ran's stream the other night. And if you aren't aware of who he is a nerdcore rapper, a nerdy rapper for layman's terms, a rapper that raps about nerd things. And he's been doing it for a long time. He does all kinds of stuff. He raps. He has a podcast where he talks about wrestling. He has a Twitch stream. He's been in video games. He's sponsored by Capcom. He just released his first published book. Like, how amazing is that? Who would have thunk 15 years ago, 16 years ago, whatever it was, I know he started a while ago really doing this, that he would be propelled to the point of being a published author, and you can buy the Mega Ran memoir on Amazon right now. And I think everybody should, because he's a great guy. His real name's Raheem, and that's not me telling on him from his name, the title of the book too, as the author. But the takeaway from this is going in a weird direction compared to what we started at, but the takeaway is that, like, don't let anyone like stop you, and like you can chase whatever you want to do, and you could probably succeed at least a little bit, just a little bit. You can carve a niche for yourself, or a niche, whatever, you can carve it. And if you need any help, I don't mind helping, because I've carved several of them to varying levels of success. But I think it is important to continue to want, you know, because if you don't, you're just gonna lay there, log, or I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think anybody should do that. I don't think anybody should be inactive like that. And it doesn't have to be content creation. I'm not saying everyone has to have a YouTube channel, but do something for yourself, even if it's like going to the gym or eating better or adopting a cat from a rescue. That's a wonderful thing to do. Or just, I don't know, donating to charity on occasion. I don't know. There's all kinds of things you can do, but do them is the point. Now, that would have been a perfect time to leave, I suppose, but what anime are you liking right now? I think he's anime. Yeah, a lot of anime. I'm watching a bunch of old stuff because I'm an old. I'm rewatching Haruhi, Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. One of the craziest shows ever. I'm almost done with my rewatch of that. Been watching Creamy Mammy, which is another classic shoujo magical girl thing where she's a pop star. It's really stupid, but I love it. I've been watching Pat Labor, however it's said. Classic mech show, big robots and explosions. That's really cool. I've got a lot of it. I've purchased a lot of anime recently. Doing a video on that on the video game and anime channel soon. So that'll be fun about the pickups. But there you go. What about you guys? What anime have you been watching? Yeah, it's been fun tonight, guys. That's all I can really say about tonight. It's been fun. It's been a fun 4 years, and I hope we have another 4 at least on here. But you can never promise it, because who knows? YouTube could make things way worse tomorrow. They've already made things pretty bad over the times. I can't imagine trying to start a brand new YouTube channel right now. It just seems like a bad idea. Space Taco TV. My phone's about to die. Have a good night, man. Everybody go subscribe to Space Taco TV right now, by the way. They're in the chat. Click on them. Subscribe to them. Well, I guess only subscribe to them if you're going to check out the videos, but it's video game stuff. And they're starting out fresh, and it's a hard time to do things fresh, but there's a lot of reason to do things fresh. Thanks for coming out, by the way, Space Tacos. Thanks for coming out. I like space and I like tacos. But I guess we're gonna end it. We're gonna end it, guys. I think we're gonna call it. As we've went over 2 hours. That's a long time to just be talking. I'm dehydrated, and it's a good time. So I want to thank everybody for coming out. I want to thank everybody for 4 years of Kimchi Chris, and I'm excited about the next year. The 5-year anniversary special is gonna be great. So you guys you gotta wait 355 days starting tomorrow for that. But it's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be quite the celebration. And I do appreciate you guys more than you'll ever know. Here at the end, I am going to spam all these links just in case you missed any of them. And I'm going to tell you what each of them are. Let's see here. So the first one I'm sending, again, if you haven't followed me on Twitch, go do that. It's a fun time. You can connect your Amazon Prime account and subscribe for free, and that sends me money directly. Right here, you can subscribe to my new video game and anime channel here on YouTube. That doesn't cost you a dime, which is wonderful. And if you do want to send money, you can send money to my PayPal directly on that link I just sent out. And maybe you don't want to just send money, you want merchandise, and you like the music you've heard in the background for the last 2 hours, you can buy Night Sabers merch right there at that link. Shirts, CDs, posters, everything. And I appreciate all of you so much. Yes, thank you so much, Trashy Fan. You have no idea how much it means that you love me. Happy 4 years, hopefully 4 more. I can't wait till this summer when we do the 1-year anniversary on Twitch. That's going to be Melissa, thank you so much. Thank you for thanking me and giving me a happy anniversary again. You're one of the ones that's always here too. So yeah, I appreciate all of you more than you'll ever know. I don't know when the next video will be because I'm probably gonna need a little break after tonight, but hopefully it'll be soon. If you missed any of this, you can go and watch it. It'll be on. Sometimes it takes YouTube like a couple hours for it to actually show up. You might not see it in your feed till tomorrow morning. But if it's tomorrow morning now, as in Saturday, January 23rd, this doesn't make a lot of sense anymore. Thank you guys so much for coming out, and see you next time. Bye.